From East Rutherford, New Jersey at the Rink and American Dream, we are in our final day of round-robin competition at the USA Curling Men's and Women's National Championships. And this is Draw 7 on the women's side, and there are some playoff spots to be had. And as we come inside the rink and take a look at the standings, well, you can see Sarah Anderson, Tabitha Peterson, both at 5-1. Delaney Strauss right ahead of Christine McMakin, 4-2 versus 3-3, and they will face each other today as well. We also have Elizabeth Cousins, Kim Rime, Miranda Scheel, all hoping to maybe get into a playoff spot. Actually, Rime and Scheel really an opportunity, and that is the matchup we'll have for you. But plain and simple, as we take a look at the Page playoff, we can tell you right now, we know Game 1 will be Anderson against Peterson. Not sure who will be the 1-2 seed. Game 2 could be a rematch of this Draw 7 clash with Strauss and McMakin if Christine McMakin can win over Delaney Strauss. If Delaney Strauss wins, then we get into some tiebreaker scenarios, which we'll get to in just a moment. And involved in that tiebreaker scenario are the teams that we will see here this afternoon. And it will be a matchup of junior national champions Miranda Scheel against Kim Rime. You can see both 2-4, but yes, 3-4 may be enough to get you involved in a tiebreaker early tomorrow morning for a chance to get into the Page playoffs. And a look at our two teams, and for Kim Rime with Libby Brundage, Kate Flannery, and Katie Rime as the lead. We'll see if they can come up with a big win against Miranda Scheel, who the junior national champion, kind of a bit of a leg up here. They've played well against the teams involved in this playoff mix. Miranda Scheel with Tessa Thurlow, Jordan Hine, and Sarah Olson. And they have defeated Kim Rime earlier this year at the U.S. Open of Curling. I beg your pardon, at the St. Paul Cash Spiel at the U.S. Curling Championships last year. It was Kim Rime with a 13-6 win. And so Miranda Scheel could get a little revenge here today and also possibly get into a playoff and make their way, or tiebreaker, I should say, and make their way into the playoffs. Also, Rachel Workin against Sarah Anderson, Tabitha Peterson against Elizabeth Cousins. And again, the other game we're really going to keep an eye on for you, Delaney Strauss and Christine McMakin. Plain and simple, McMakin wins, and we know who the 4 teams will be. Along with Tyler George, I'm Joe Tollison. Glad that you've joined us. And Tyler, some moments here where I would imagine for these competitors, like any other sport, need to put aside the implications and focus on the task at hand.
I think they'd be lying if they said they weren't at least glancing over at the other game, too. I know I've been in that situation many times. You always want to be the team that has their own destiny in their hands. But for Rime and Scheel, you just got to play your game. If you can get the W, hope for a little help from Delaney Strauss on the sheet next to you. Get into that tiebreaker scenario early tomorrow morning. But you still got to handle your own business. Don't let that be a distraction. Both teams playing well as of late, the last few games, to get into this position. For Team Scheel especially, they've had a couple leads in games. They could easily be a game or two up higher in the standings. Blew a 6-0 lead earlier in this tournament. But, again, a win and a little help, and your destiny's back in your own hands.
How much of that is part of the learning process for a junior national champion?
They probably haven't been in this position too many times. With junior nationals, there could have been a tiebreaker scenario where they needed to just focus on their game, a little help. Obviously, they were at the top of the field, so they probably weren't too concerned, at least in the last nationals, about needing any help from anybody else. But great experience for them. It's a no-lose situation for Team Scheel. This is a developing team, getting better year by year. And anything from here on out, although they tell you different, they want to win. It's house money for competitive purposes and growing going forward. And I'm sure Coach Mike Moore will use this to teach them about how to handle these situations. Mike's been in them a few times himself as a player. Really good influence for this young squad.
Well, and speaking of house money, Tessa Thurlow puts their first into the house.
Well, that's good.
Yes.
House money it is.
Yes. 9-5. Yes. Marquee. Go. 9-7.
And without the guard, do we have the beginning of a hit parade?
Yeah, it depends on where this shooter rolls to. Very easily could be. If this rolls in, could be another first end where we see both teams just trying to get comfortable with the surroundings, the atmosphere. High pressure game, obviously. Loser, regardless of what happens in the Strauss-McMakin game, is eliminated from playoff contention. We'll see if this ends up on the nose. It might still be out of the rings, and Ryan would not be able to hit it, but this looks like it's going to roll in. A little softer than they expected on that throw, but does clear the red and sits inside of the house on the opposite side.
Now with all the way over on in the 12 on that side of the house, but at some point just preference if you decide, you know what, I want to try and tuck it behind and let's see if we can make an end out of it.
Well, you're going to need a miss to do that at this point probably, unless your opponent elects not to peel whatever guard you'd throw up. I'd be pretty surprised if this wasn't just trading out. If someone rolls out of the house, then it's a decision for either the team without hammer if they want to press the action a little bit with a center guard, or for Team Rhyme if there's a rollout to throw a corner guard, which is a little less risky than for Team Scheel, where if they go up top, Rhyme could easily go around. But with a corner guard and without hammer, unlikely that you'd see Team Scheel go around.
So Jordan Hine.
Yep. Close. Whoa. Just nosing. That's fine. Good. 9-4.
Just knows that they do, and it does stay in the house.
Quick decision from Kim Rhyme, and I don't really blame either team for this start. This is how we played the first end of the Olympic gold medal game, trading hits with Team Sweden. We went in first. We figured they'd hit, and we were fine with going back and forth with them. Ended up being a blank. Unfortunately, Sweden got their 2 in the second after that, so wisely keeping hammer until that point. But it's the only 2-point lead they had the whole game, I can tell you that.
Good. 9-3.
And this one rolls out, so open house.
Just top 12.
Scheel throwing it to the top of the rings. Don't really know what the rationale is for the top 12 as opposed to top 4. If they're just throwing it to a spot they can sweep, but drawing into the house, which I agree with.
Top 12. Yep. Straight side. Straight side. Top 12. 3. Top 12 here.
And they're sweeping the whole way here. And what we've seen during this week, Tyler, is some teams really having to sweep to get it to the
Always
house.
straight. Tight as you can.
And that's the idea. It's like Price is Right. You throw it too hard, that's the overbid. There's nothing you can do. Can't slow the rock down. So you're always throwing the tolerance, which would be to the sweeping side of things. That's the good miss for any draw, somewhere where you can have an effect on the stone. And the best sweepers in the world, Joe, can carry a rock an extra 12 to 15 feet when the entire diameter of the house is 12 feet. So thinking of it in those terms, you can have such a huge difference on every shot, especially in the draw game. That one ended up short, and Team Rhyme does play the peel. Runders rolls almost all the way off. Scheel still going up top here.
You think that like 80?
So after starting a little more conservative, now some aggressive play with these center guards.
First stone for the third for Team Scheel, Sarah Olson.
Yep. Top 12. Top 12 here.
Again, looking to draw to the top of the house.
Straight side. Straight side. Top 12.
For a tight guard from Sarah Olson, now coming to top 12 possibly.
14-5. Good toss.
We're at 14-5. That's pretty consistent with where we've seen rocks end up with that hog-to-hog time.
And first stone here for Kate Flannery.
Sitting and rolling over towards the wing a little bit, changing up the line. Could consider that rock a corner over there still. Could tuck a piece behind and have a little bit of the paint.
Close. Yep.
Just underway first end. If you've just joined us, glad you have for this final round robin game here at the Women's Curling Championships. And this one could be very important, with the winner possibly advancing to a tiebreaker. We'll keep you up to date with this situation as we continue this afternoon, because the other key match is right next to him. Doesn't take much to glance over and see what's happening with Delaney Strauss and Christine McMakin. Kate Flannery second.
Outturn hit for Kate. Straightforward once again. Rolling a little bit towards the center again. Changing up the lines that your opponent's playing is never a bad thing.
Doesn't move much here. Try and wait if you can.
Good chance for both teams to bank some time going forward.
For Team Rhyme, they've only used a minute.
You play 1 minute ends, you really don't have much to worry about getting to the second half. Go get a chicken sandwich from the food court without having to take a timeout.
And first stone for skip Miranda Scheel.
Whoa! Whoa!
Hit and stick easily made, no problem there. Playing out for the possible blank for Team Rhyme if they're able to execute these last couple.
See if we can get a little roll. Yeah, a little roll. I don't think this is like curling like crazy. Curl nicely, but she was pretty soft. So 10.5.
And Kim Rhyme with her first. And what has just been a situation of knocking stones away.
Oh, clean, clean. Yep. Curl. Yep. Yes. Straight, straight, straight.
Out-turn pass,
Straight.
roll a little
All the way
the
hard,
opposite
hard,
side.
hard.
Maybe a different look
10,
for
4, 5.
Scheel. That's good to leave that half off the rings.
Still like
Now a
normal?
nose hit won't be in the house,
Oh, you like, yeah, I like normal.
and Rhyme won't even
Better
have
watch
to
it, it's
peel
not
the
gonna
stone
move
out
much.
in order to blank. So Scheel needs to roll this
Yeah, she's got
either direction, looking to roll on the out-turn side into the rings if they can.
Try and roll under the red if we stick around. That's fine. Like a hair less. Okay. It's been really straight here. Yeah. Can I get
Talking
half
chicken
less?
sandwiches too, Joe. I had maybe the best fast food chicken sandwich I've ever had. Jollibee's. I've never had that before here in the food court in the mall, and I'm now campaigning for them to open up a place in Duluth, please.
10-5.
Outturn here for the hit by
Hard then. Hard
Miranda
then.
Scheel on her final rock.
think
They
that-
have one in Manhattan, Tyler.
Yeah, I'd never even heard of it till now, but I think
really
we can
soft.
officially call it the official chicken sandwich of the broadcast crew here. That one barely gets that rock out,
Yeah.
but does stay out of the rings.
I have never been into the one in Manhattan,
I think
which
you will now,
goes
probably.
directly to the point you're making. It's been too crowded anytime I've walked
Right.
by.
Yeah. Yeah, no line here. I think I may be making a return visit this afternoon. So again, we've mentioned earlier in the tournament with these blank shots, just find a draw or find a path you want to see. Don't just throw it away. Make sure you watch the line and you see Kim Rhyme playing down the center,
You didn't even have to go down.
inside out,
Said you didn't
getting a
even
good
need to
look
just
at
stick
how much that curls.
Blank.
I would say quite a bit
Blank.
from watching that throw.
And a blanked end to start this off between Rhyme and Scheel, where the winner of this potentially could end up in a tiebreaker to make it into the playoffs. But right now, all square after one.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
Back at the Rankin American Dream, and a blanked end here for Ryman Scheel. So Miranda Scheel's Rink will have first shot here in the second. Rachel Workin, Sarah Anderson blanking their first end as well.
Looks okay here.
They're still going with Strauss and
Top
McMakin.
four.
That's the
All
other
you
one we
guys.
really need to keep an eye on. But this
13-9. Whoa, whoa, whoa.
will make it top of the four,
Good. That's fine.
courtesy of Tessa
Good,
Thurlow.
Tess. Say 13-9.
Cora Farrell
Oh,
just
actually
made
into the
a
button.
draw to the 4-foot on sheet B for at least a single point. It looks like it may be two for McMakin. Taking one last look.
Three's good, guys. I feel like we're gonna
They are going to measure. So at least one for McMakin, measuring for two. And 1 point of clarification, too, for those wondering why Elizabeth Cousins isn't mentioned in this tiebreaker scenario. If she were to win and McMakin lost, there would be a three-way tie with McMakin, the winner of the Rhyme Scheel game, and Cousins. But Cousins has lost to all three of those teams she'd be tied with. And head-to-head is the first tiebreaker for these tiebreaker purposes. So Cousins has been eliminated from competition with the information we are given here.
Line's really good. Four. Line's really good here.
So the only tiebreaker
Straight side.
possibility would be a
Straight
McMakin
side,
loss,
Yep.
playing the winner of
Hard
the
for
Rhyme
weight.
Scheel
Hard
game.
for weight. 15-1. Top 12 here. Top 12
And
here.
you cannot be excluded from the playoffs without playing a game. And that's why head-to-head is not used to split 4 and 5.
If there's more than a two-way tie, you
Right.
can be.
Right.
So if there's two teams tied for one playoff spot, they play the game. 3 teams tied for one playoff spot goes to head-to-head first with the number 3 team if there's a
Right.
distinct
But they're not going to
bottom
split
team
4-5
out.
with head-to-head. You will play a tiebreaker.
They will play a game for 2 teams.
And if you want to get up early on your Saturday morning for a tiebreaker, tomorrow morning at 7:30, you'll be able to watch it right here.
I can tell you that the ice crew and the tech guys have a favorite out there today based on tiebreaker possibilities. I don't think that's any breaking news.
They're going to need a little more help on the men's side, but we'll get to that this evening at 7 o'clock.
Even top 12, so
Speaking of the tech crew, he probably doesn't know that we're going to mention this either, but Matt Wall over here on our
say a
left,
little more.
working hard. It's his 50th birthday
top
today.
14 here is good.
We'd like to wish him happy birthday, and if you want to post somewhere, go on his Facebook wall. Thank him for all his hard work this week, and he doesn't look a day over 49,
Top
folks.
8,
I'll
top
tell you
12.
what.
Hair tight. Sarah's
Thanks for
rock.
everything, Matt. Happy birthday, brother.
Sarah's
First
rock.
zone here from
Close
Jordan
line.
Hine
Close line. Yep. Yep.
in this second end.
Hard. Hard line. Hard. We're hard. You got it. Hard. Gotta go. Just not there. Hold on.
An out turn come around from Hine.
14-9.
Wrecks the guard, but does end up
Try this.
a guard on its own, even though it's biting the top of the 12-foot. So
You like
double
that?
opportunity for Rhyme to open things up and
Just nose, really. Just
have 3 guards in play to use to try to set up a 2-point end.
I'm just curious with Matt if he ever feels like his birthday seems like it was the same day as the year before.
I bet he does. That's how I feel.
I've always wondered about guys whose birthdays on Groundhog Day.
Yes.
Yeah, did not occur to me. I keep forgetting it is.
Hard.
Phil Connors?
Hard.
We're
And
not
the
going to
hit-
start with the Groundhog Day quotes now from the movie. So it'll go the entire
top 12's
game.
fine.
So hit through.
You like this side?
The 2 guards at the center, the 1 corner guard.
this side's
But
easier.
sitting at the button is Miranda Scheel's rock.
That rolled to a stagger again, so that it's going to take a couple shots just to be able to get to that yellow stone. So good opportunity for Scheel. Play this intern come around draw.
Top 8, top 12.
Jordan Hine.
Top 8, top 12.
Really like top 8, even top 4.
6. Hair tight.
Line
6.
starting to turn. Got to get by
7.
first.
Gotta die. 8. We're all there. 13.
Behind. They're just going to leave it.
Way back in the house.
Whoa, whoa. 13-1.
For 13-1, actually surprised that has any of the paint with that hog-to-hog time. So just a little deep out of hand. Over on sheet D. Unfortunate that Cousins has been eliminated, as they just took 4 in the first end on Tabitha Peterson. Maybe playing loose and relaxed. You see the type of results you can get.
And Kate Flannery with her first stone, and she's going to split up that duo at the top of the house. And hello, Shot Rock.
Yeah, they peeled it open. If they played that with less weight, they actually could have pushed both reds into the house probably, at the very least the second one, and opened it up. So didn't really need to peel, but did open up the yellow counter.
Did Bob just get a super close-up?
So second stone for Sarah Olson. Who Tyler knows well from Duluth.
That's a very familiar name in the Duluth Curling Club. Not the only Olson.
Yeah.
Mike and Jana, I'm sure, watching.
I was fine with it. 'Cause now
And
we
well
can
placed
do a
scoring.
double, or you can do this double.
Can that stone at the back of the house maybe help them a little bit in the case of trying to run back to the shot rock?
Well, it's just a hanger on right now. That rock would be a lot more significant if it was red, with trying to get to this #1 counter. With it being the team without hammer,
2, 3.
it's just kind of hanging out there for the time being.
Okay.
Only way it will come into play is if somehow it ends up as a jam stone, or Rhyme isn't able to get anything in the house and ends up being for an extra point. But the focus is on that rock in the 4s. It's kind of a non-factor for the time being.
Sarah Olson again.
Just a 3. Just a 3.
Looking for this to hit the brakes, but might be all the way down to that rock in the top of the 4-foot.
Fine.
Just short of it,
14-3.
but possible double, maybe even triple available now for Rhyme, the way the rocks
9.
line up.
You like the same? 9. If you want more.
Would it have helped at all trying to sweep and maybe get it to freeze?
No, it would have been cornered on that stone. It would have made it
Right.
easier
Okay.
sweeping it. If it's dead on the nose of it, it makes it tougher, but at an angle where it was crossing, if it's touching that stone, then it's just hit it anywhere basically and they all go out. So they wanted as much separation as possible.
Kim says yes.
Whoa. Yep.
Go, Kim, go.
There's the double.
Go.
Well done by Kate Flannery.
Small roll.
Sitting shot rock.
Like rolling big isn't bad. I like just a small roll.
And down to skip stones. So if you're Miranda Scheel,
9-5. All right. We need good 9-5. Yep.
Scheel's going to avoid the backing first and foremost, that rock in the back of the 12s, try to stick around. With as high as it is, it wouldn't be terrible to roll behind the corner. But if you're going to roll towards it, if it doesn't get underneath, it makes the short hit and roll easier
Even if we roll under
for
the
Kim
ground,
Rhyme to
not
try to
bad,
use
but I
that
think we
corner
take it
guard.
high. Good 9-5. Yep.
so first stone of the second for Miranda Scheel.
Close. Yeah, Yep. Hard, T. Hard. Hold it on that line. Hold it on that line.
Early
Hold it,
sweep
hard.
to try to
Hard
make
test,
sure they
hard
don't
test.
nose.
Hard. You got it. Hard.
Hard, buddy, right to it. Hard, right to it. You got it. Hard, 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 hard.
That is dead on the beak to jam on that back stone. Difficult to do.
Oh, it's close.
That's worst case scenario for Team Scheel.
I think it's them. I cannot tell.
Looking to see which of those is shot rock.
I think it's us, but I think we would.
Maybe we get an overhead to
So I don't really
see
wanna take it out.
which of those two. Rhymes' decision may tell us which they believe it is. They're hitting, it's pretty likely that yellow is shot.
It's gonna
Ooh,
go.
it's very close, so if they're not sure, they're going to hit
I think he's
just
a
to be
little
sure.
soft for the car, so.
If they could roll it
I agree.
away,
I like this.
even if it doesn't go under the corner, those two are separated, so it would make the double pretty much impossible. After that measurement on sheet B, McMakin only did get a single, so 1-0 over Strauss in the second end.
To roll Katie's way a little bit. So funny, you guys. It's so funny.
First stone for Kim Rhyme in this second end. How much has her strategy changed here? As she goes with an out turn because they're not quite sure who has shot rock.
Well, if they were sure, they'd be hitting it. Like if it was number one, they'd be hitting it for sure. If they were positive it wasn't, they're probably drawing under the corner. But you can't take a chance if you're not sure. You have to hit, but ends up rolling out. So the opportunity for two probably gone now.
9-9. Oh, shoot.
Normal.
Let's make this one good. Okay, good 9-5.
For our 1-2 seeding, Workin and Anderson
Yeah,
blanked the
pretty good.
first end. Sarah
Yeah,
Anderson
good
again
release.
will be the number one seed with a win.
Just nose it here.
If they were to lose, then all depends on what Tab Peterson does. A Peterson loss guarantees the number one seed as well for Anderson.
To say, we can tell you, regardless of the result of those two matches, those will be the 1-2 teams. We're just not sure which will be in which position.
One will be the one and one will be the two. So 3 playoff spots are secured, just a matter of which spots those will be for Anderson, Peterson, and Delaney Strauss.
Whoa! Whoa! Whoa!
Nice. All right, girl.
Nice intern hit and stick from Miranda Scheel. That will bring another blank opportunity for Kim Rhyme. I don't think too many of us thought that this could possibly be 0-0 after 2 with the way these two teams put rocks in play.
Thanks.
But now Kim Rhyme, one intern peel away from another blank.
Off the hack last rock of the second end. As Kim Rhyme wants to hold on to the hammer to go into the third.
Yes. Yes.
Trying to
Hard,
hold
Katie.
the
You
line
got it.
for
Yes,
the blank,
yes, yes,
getting close
yes,
to
yes,
nose.
yes.
Still just fine. Good sweep. Good throw by Kim.
And we'll just pretend, folks, that this was set up to be an 8-end game to begin with.
Like every other curling game in the world, yeah.
So, blanks in the first and second, third end. Back at American Dream as we start the third end between Miranda Scheel and Kim Rhyme. Kim Rhyme had the hammer to start the game, still does, as they've blanked the first two ends. Joe Tollison, 2018 Olympic gold medal winner Tyler George. Glad you've joined us throughout this USA Curling Championships. We do have draw 7 from the men tonight at 7 o'clock, but this is an important match here. The winner could end up in a tiebreaker if Delaney Strauss
Just a little tight.
can defeat Christine McMakin. If McMakin gets the win, and you can call it a bit of an upset win, well, our top 4 would be Anderson, Peterson, one of them the 1, the other in the 2. McMakin would be 3, Strauss would be 4.
Line's fine.
7.
Line's good. Close. Stay
7.
close.
Outturn come around. Katie Rhyme
13-6.
settling right around the tee line.
That's behind. Good.
That's fine. Good.
And that's
I like to it.
where we end up, side of the button.
Here's okay.
One thing we do know, Tyler, is
Okay.
if Delaney Strauss wants to get back to the final as she did last year, she's going to have to win a couple of games.
Yeah, last year Strauss in the 1-2
Line's good.
didn't have to go through that 3-4 game
Line's good.
scenario, so
Line's good.
a little harder road for Delaney this year. We'll have to
Line's
win
good.
3 straight playoff games in order
Line's good.
to win the national championship.
Curl side. Right to it.
And we'll have to beat the top 2
Close.
seeds,
Straight,
obviously, in
straight.
order to get through, having lost to both already in this tournament. Their
Good
only
team.
2 losses
14.
to Tab Peterson and Sarah Anderson.
You can come this way, huh?
Yeah, I'm not going this way. Get the angle.
Jordan Hine
Just down 2. Little tap's okay.
nestles it right up to that first stone that was thrown by Katie Rhyme. And Katie Rhyme with her second of this third end.
6, 7.
Line's nice.
6, 7.
Line's good. Line's
5.
Playing the opposite side now and playing the angles with that yellow stone staggered on the opposite side. They'd like to
Little bump, little bump, little
freeze
bump.
on the inside of this stone.
good.
That's really well done. Good shot.
14.
We could come here. I just don't love leaving them this. Just on the inside.
Could start seeing a bunch of rocks piling up in the 4-foot now. I think Scheel wants to move one of these reds. They called freeze. I think if you could get to at least nose of that red and tap it back a little bit,
Top
it really helps the angles.
8, 9,
So to accomplish that, a delicate shot here.
8.
And
don't
8,
have
9.
any.
That
9.
weight would be just fine as long as the line was good, but that looks like
12-5.
all of that. Probably 10. You heard 12-9. That should be through the rings pretty easily.
The other one, but she's.
I think she's just overthrowing it.
Yeah.
I have 70 on that.
Is that a nerves thing? As you could hear, she's just overthrowing it.
It's possible. Scheel was asking if maybe it's something with the rock being faster, as there's been a couple deep misses with that stone. I don't know if that's the case, and she didn't know either. Oh, a disaster on sheet B for Christine McMakin. Cora Farrell hitting to sit 2. Probably would have left a double for Strauss for 3, but flashes. It's an open hit for 4 for Delaney Strauss.
Yep. Yep. Hard.
The game of inches
Hard line.
proving
hard.
itself there.
Hard. Hard.
And
Hard.
now
Hard.
just sliding by the guard.
Just
Oh,
hairs the
just
guard.
nicked it. I thought it was by.
Yeah. Okay.
Still spins its way into the 4-foot. Little fortunate there for
I think we go here.
Ryan, but also got there because of
Nose
the
this
sweep.
guy.
They held the line enough that it
Just
hit that
outside of
guard
nose.
thin.
Not firm.
Thought it was just going to paper by.
Well, then double check with her.
Scheel wants to
we
move these
playing
rocks
a
around.
double?
Looks like maybe they're trying to kill 2.
Okay.
What's the legitimate expectation here?
Strauss makes her hit for 4.
Close. Yep.
They lead 4-1.
Hard.
And Jordan Hine
Hard.
try and break up this cluster of rocks around the 4.
And this is going to jam on their own stone. Over curls, little tight. Now leaving Rhyme sitting 3.
feeling theirs would do that.
And Scheel says just didn't get out there. It's tight.
Just another freeze.
Yeah, top
Just
toes
piling
fine.
rocks in now.
Okay.
I don't think they're going to come all the way down to their own. Maybe half tuck in the top of the 8-foot would probably be an ideal spot.
That's 12.
I thought this morning with Danny
Grab a 9.
Casper and Nicholas Connolly,
Cool. Okay.
which we haven't seen much across this week, but I think it was the first 8 stones of the end all ended up in the house.
Well, I can tell you my analysis of that game. I didn't watch a single shot.
Okay, line's good, guys.
I decided to be productive and get a little extra rest and get ramped up for the rest of the tournament. So
Line's good.
I know who won. That's the extent of my knowledge of that
better.
game.
14-7. Tuck a piece. Yep, curl.
I want to tuck a little piece here if they can.
Okay, good. That's fine.
I'd like to see them finish that a little bit
Yep.
more, actually. Could have gotten a piece under to not let them play
I
the.
think we're only getting
a
these
hit
two
on that.
moving. Just come down here.
Time for a chat. And 4 in without hammer. Need to figure out the course of action to try to get out of trouble.
Okay.
Sarah Olson will throw this next stone.
Moving, and then we're rolling here.
If we throw hard enough, this one should just squirt back a little.
Yeah,
Right.
but then it's still wide open.
We gotta delete rocks here. This is
Yeah.
not good. I think
I don't love running anything.
I don't
Steal
either.
that term
And we
too.
can't get to
Delete
the end.
stones.
I
think
think
we
we
gotta play
played for
this.
that.
Peel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just try and get it moving. That back one should squirt back, but
Trying to get a couple of these moving if they can. Hitting the inside and trying to roll in and push these reds around. They may not be able to delete more than one of these reds. It's going to be awfully tough to lose more than one at these angles.
But Sarah Olson will do her best.
Close, yep, yep! Hard!
I think she's on the top one in the top 8s already.
Whoa, whoa, yes, down it!
So
7-8.
Peel 1.
So tight.
Team Scheel just
She's
not
so
quite
tight. I
getting
can
out
give
to
her
the
more,
broom
but
right
she's so
now.
tight.
Tight on a
here.
couple different misses.
So I think rather than here, we need to be further over. I think. Okay. Yeah, top 12 is fine. Tight 3 is okay.
So Kate Flannery, they're looking to place this. There's a guard just outside the house, or top 12 is what Kim Rhyme was discussing.
I'd love to see him come close to where they just were, but curl another 3-4 inches.
Stay close. Line's
He's
okay,
going to need to
don't curl,
finish
don't
up
curl,
to get
don't
to
curl.
that line, so
Just
I
a
think
three.
you just want this to stop.
Yep, yep.
She dismissed that pretty much out of hand
Yep.
of wanting to go back to where they were, and you're saying go back to where they were, but just push it a little more behind the guard.
Sending it
If
straight
it's
back.
tucked a little bit, then you can't
get
use it
those
and run it
moving.
in. And it does create that Christmas tree line that we talked about earlier.
And Sarah Olson second for Team
Close,
Scheel
yep,
here in
whoa,
the third
whoa,
end.
whoa. Close. Whoa.
This one could get some reds
Not
moving.
curl.
Could lose as many as 3 if
Not
it hits in the
curl.
right spot.
Hard.
get it.
Oh,
Papers by. Almost lost at least 2.
I think
Choose the same thing.
same, Katie.
Just about knows
I like the
actually
same
would have
side.
lost
I
at
knew it
least
could finish.
3 of them.
I liked it.
and Kim Rhyme, she likes the same place. Have you warmed up to the same place yet?
Well, anything above it, you're giving them a chance to lose more stones. I do really like coming in and trying to tuck. And I think this line's a little tighter. This might be ideal, actually, for Rhyme if this curls and they finish it. I like this line a lot for them.
Curling?
We're over curling a bit.
Just a 3. We're not on.
They're concerned
they
about it
should-
over curling.
And they should get it onto the paint at least if they can. It's
It's
only going to be 2 inches out. You might as well have it on in the house, too.
In the one yeah, on my first. Yeah.
I think we got to get these two moving.
Just gotta
This
get
one should go back
something
a little bit. It won't much.
They really
You
think
guys
they
like
can
trying
get
this
those
again?
two
Yep.
to move on the roll, but there's so little space to actually get to the inside. You're never killing more than one stone with this shot. And they're just, the two reds that they're rolling into are kind of frozen on each other. So you can't really roll to a freeze either because it's going to bump. I don't really know that this accomplishes very much for Scheel.
Not moving much.
What other option does she have?
You could play the out-turn, draw, freeze. Just come all the way around and tap one of those stones back. You probably sit second count. That's your best option.
She'll go in turn
Whoa, whoa!
and opt for brute force here.
Pearl!
That's better.
Yeah, I could probably still get to nose and sit 4 again, and you only need to throw hack
Would you like to throw on the guard?
to get there. If it chips off your own, it's still not bad. It's about as good a result as she could get, and still sitting, red's still sitting 2.
No, I think she'll run this.
Yeah.
I did here.
I'm short. Short's fine.
Make it go to draw.
Yeah. So we're going for short?
Looks like they're going to draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you can sit 3 playing this. It's not a bad
I don't
call.
think so.
You just touch off
They
that
can move
stone
the
a
6
little
over
bit,
and the
nestle
3
in.
back.
If you made it with hack and rolled in, you'd be in really good shape. But if you make it with just clean draw, you're still 3. So I like the call. This is the one she's going to make. Probably every bit as good.
I like my. Yeah, a 3 is fine. Like,
So after blanks in the first 2 ends,
you like quit halfway through.
a real opportunity here in the third for Kim Rime
Okay, like a 3. Come on. I think
to
we
take
can
the upper
walk
hand
solo.
in a game where the winner could end up in a tiebreaker.
Like it.
Delaney Strauss did put up 4 in the second, so leading by 3 over Christine McMakin. And if Christine McMakin loses, that would be the tiebreaker opponent.
Mine's fine.
2, 3's good. No line. It'll come over. Line's getting better. Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yes, yes, yes,
Keep
yes.
it going.
Curl a little,
Yep,
curl a little.
Yep,
Curl a little,
yep,
gotta curl a
keep
little.
going,
Go,
curl.
go,
Libby
go, go,
Brundage
go, 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 go.
Yes,
calling
keep
from the
going
house.
hard.
Do they get it? Well, they're just going to leave it up high.
Well, yeah, I don't like that call. That's now you're leaving
I
the
think we're trying to
out
freeze
turn
here.
draw for Scheel. You can freeze and sit third
here.
or maybe
pro
even
side.
tap if you get there.
I think it's okay to be a little
Sit
light.
second.
I think
At
we can get it in
the
there.
very least, drawing into the 4-foot, you can get third
Even if we're
count.
just top
Like
4,
that,
let's
14.
Yeah, that's
4
one
over
you
there.
can get aggressive on. Play that in-turn draw, come right in. There's very little risk in playing
14-3,
it.
yeah.
Extremely conservative play there
That
from
420 should be really close.
Rime,
I
and
think
leaves
you can
Miranda
probably
Scheel an
do
opening now on the
25, cut off
opposite
that draw
side.
path.
Again, we talked, Joe, about sometimes
Just
half of it is
top
about
fours
taking
late.
position
It's
for
okay to be
yourself.
light
Half
here.
of it
I'm
is
gonna throw like a
taking it away from the
14-5,
opponent
let you guys
so they
swing it.
can't do it.
Like that 14-5?
I think it's 14-3, but I'm going to throw 14-5. It's okay to be light here.
Is there a scenario here with enough weight? Can she end up with second and third?
If you get really close to those guards with a tap, you could sit second and third, moving that back red, as long as they're second. That would be the key. I think they're just playing to a freeze and trying to give them 2, not risking playing the tap. It is possible, but they're just playing the freeze here. Line's really good.
Top 12.
Got to go for weight, though.
Hard!
That's going to end up short.
I need to get it there, and it's not going to.
So now it'll be the same draw for Rime. Dodging a little bit of a bullet on a way to get out of the end. Now just need full force for a 3rd point.
So last rock of the third end and an opportunity for Kim Rime to draw for 3. Sarah Anderson picked up 2 in the second to lead Rachel Workin 2-0. And after giving up
Okay, I think it's like
4 in the
14
first
minutes.
to Elizabeth Cousins, Tabitha Peterson gets 2 back in the second. That's 4-2.
Anderson actually stole 3 in the third. They now lead 5-0.
All right, they just posted that.
As you were saying it, they were hanging that 3.
That's what I get for glancing over and not sticking with it.
Line's real good.
Last rock here in the third. And
Close,
this is
stay
just
close.
execution. Can Kim Rhyme?
Off.
We got a lot of room. It's got to be full four. Just full
A little
four.
slower on this track right now. They're hoping it hits the
13-6.
brakes.
We're not on the button yet.
It's
We're on
trying.
the floor yet. Curl,
Still, we're
curl.
not on
We
the
gotta be
button.
full four. Curl.
Looks pretty
Whoa,
good.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Will that be enough?
Yeah, but I
Yeah,
didn't want
that's
to be
3.
I thought
I
it was
believe.
coming farther. 3?
Yep, 3 it
That
is.
should be 3. So 3 red. Kim Rhyme takes the early advantage here in this final match of the round robin, leading 3-0 with the fourth end coming up. And Warm Room Hero is the intuitive club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, it's a platform built for curlers by curlers. So check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. Warm Room Hero at curling.club. So again, usacurling.org. Find a club near you if you want to get involved. We go into the fourth end. Kim Rhyme just taking 3 in the third, so first stone here. And they'll slip that just into the 8, side of the 4 almost. And now Miranda Scheel needs to figure out a way to pick some points and get back into this game. Tessa Thurlow with her first to the fourth end.
In turn corner guard coming up from Tessa.
2, 3.
Just looking for a
2, 3.
2, 2.5
Yep,
if they can
gotta
get it
go.
there.
Weight's gotta go. Yep, carry it. You got it. Hard, you got
Fairly high on that side, but still
it. Just high.
a good corner guard. Trying to manufacture a 2 or a 3 after that 3 from Rhyme.
Tabitha Peterson got 1 back in the third, so on a steal. So 4-3 behind Elizabeth Cousins. Cousins with the hammer in the fourth.
2, 3.
Second stone here from Katie Rhyme.
Lots of room right now.
2.
And we could have some intrigue here in this end.
We're carrying a bit. We're running a bit, guys.
Thanks, Katie.
15-2.
Rock gliding a little bit. They're hoping this stops just short. Now finishing to the center line.
Okay, good.
You get their center guard, so likely getting some rocks in play in this end.
I could be on the other side.
Did not quite get to the line, so no tick rule does not affect that one. And Tessa Thurlow again.
In turn, come around draw, trying to go around the corner that she just threw. Line looks pretty good. Does need to finish, but should get at least a good piece underneath.
Got a lot underneath.
That's almost completely buried, just a little bit poking out.
I've got a little more.
Okay.
Nicely done.
Thanks,
So
Mike. Good 12.
12.
fifth stone of the end coming here.
Maybe Brundage playing the in-turn
Gotta go.
hack weight hit around this corner guard. Free guard zone rule in effect. They can't remove this. They are going to wreck. We'll see how far it goes. Looks like it's going to stay in play, but also leaves another guard up top. See if that actually gets to the paint.
Yeah, I think it did.
So good break for Miranda Scheel. She really doesn't like these center guards now, chasing this one again.
I think I like this.
Do you ever like hitting the open one?
I don't think you need to worry about that right now. Well, you're down 3, Miranda. You're not nearly as worried about what they can guard as what you can.
That's not bad.
We just gotta stick the shooter.
Gotta play the scoreboard a little here too. You're more concerned with scoring than you are preventing the other team from getting something to go around.
So do you want to draw behind those guards?
Well, you don't want to peel guards.
Right.
If there's an open one you can hit and sit 3 right now, and you could be the one to roll under that guard, and now it's helping you.
That's fine.
That hits and rolls off. So now only 1 guard in play.
Yeah.
And that also allows your opponent now to hit your open stone. All of a sudden, you only have 1 in the house instead of 3.
You wanna come this way?
Half of it. I have half of the yellow under.
Yeah, but this is the shot.
Okay.
You wanna come this way?
Sure, yeah.
Okay.
So hit and roll here.
If we just get the one, I think that's
As
still
far as they can roll, if they can roll close to the other yellow, at least set up maybe a double on their next shot. Or if they can roll all the way over to frozen, that might be a little too flat. This is still going backwards, though. There won't be any roll in on this.
Okay, that's fine.
Just on the nose.
Fine.
just slid tight or wide.
Normal.
And then again for Scheel, if that guard was still up there, you can hit and roll underneath
this
it.
is
There's
good
nothing to
room
roll
with
under now. So you're playing for a 2, and shots like that peel of the guard are almost eliminating your chance for 3 and essentially just playing for 2.
So first shot
Yep.
from Jordan Hine, is that what you would have rather done, that hit and roll off the
Yeah, hit
kind of
the-
what they're doing now?
Yeah, hit and sit 3. Weren't in any danger really there. We're trying to sweep to hold this in the house too.
Just tight on the slide.
Does roll behind the semi-corner, semi-center, but maybe a double available.
10.
I'd say, Joe, I think my day is half ruined already, though. I got a text from a friend that Carl Weathers of Chubbs from Happy Gilmore fame and more importantly,
Creed.
obviously, my all-time favorite movie villain, Apollo Creed from Rocky, passed away today.
9-5.
Big loss. The Rocky movies, maybe my all-time favorite movie series, and Apollo Creed, one of the all-time greats, so R.I.P. Carl.
Okay, good throw, Katie.
Nice hit and roll there to get second count by
You like this? I don't love leaving
Team
it here.
Rhyme. Good shot by Kate Flannery again. She's made a few good ones early.
We're not shot unless we're in the 4-foot.
As we move to the thirds, and this is Sarah Olson for Miranda Scheel. And really, this end changed dramatically when they peeled the guard.
Whatever you see, I don't know.
Yeah, it allows your
I don't
opponent to
know.
play with no fear hitting open
I
stones.
just don't want them to be able to make a double.
Like there? I
Really
like
could have
rolling to the
attacked with a
corner
hit and roll.
frozen. That's good. On top's fine.
Cora Farrell had a shot for 2 on her last in the third and could not execute. Ends up just taking a single, so Delaney Strauss leads Christine McMakin 4-2 with hammer in the 4th. Good news for these two teams on sheet C.
Close.
And the
Yep.
intern from Sarah Olson
Hard.
is looking for the hit and roll
Whoa.
off this outside stone.
Nice shot.
Oh, that's a really nice shot. Moves that off of frozen. Well done.
You can see a little less of it now, right?
Same thing. Same.
for some of Carl Weathers' more recent work, if anybody's a fan of The
inside
Mandalorian,
there,
that means
9.
no more Grief Karga.
We've got a little less of
yeah.
it.
Oh, okay. Then stay weight.
Again,
9-5.
another old-time movie, or at least compared to others, Predator.
Yep.
You got it.
I thought you were going to go all the way back to Force 10 from Navarone.
That's a pretty good one there. You one-up me.
9-5. Yes, 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 yes.
There's actually some big stars in that one from a time when you didn't know if they were going to be big stars, but here,
Look at this shot here by Flannery, too. Boy,
That's the
she's
double.
really playing well right now. That's two beauties. Couldn't see a whole lot of that stone. In order to throw enough to clear both, he had to get relatively close to the guard. Nice shot by Kate.
and now instead of, I mean, is there,
Balls, yep, yep.
I mean, I look at this and wonder if Sarah Olson makes this throw, do they have a legitimate shot at getting two now?
You got to get under the guard, then hope for a little half miss with how high the guard is.
Hi, bad.
So you're still trying to get two if you can.
That noses it, though.
Do you want the roll? Or do you want to try for the
Now if you're Rhyme, you have to decide, do we want to roll
Right.
underneath,
We will
or do we want to roll away and allow Scheel to draw underneath? I think you have to be the team that goes under. The problem is you may leave a little freeze or tap. Whichever shot they play, there's likely a way for Scheel to use that corner. So it's just a preference thing.
Normal.
And with two rocks being in the house, Joe, they're not thinking blank in the least bit because you're going to need a miss. So if this does roll away, I would expect they play the draw under, as long as you're likely not blanking, try to get two. And if they roll underneath, it'll either be a freeze or a tap. With a nose, they probably hit and roll under.
Yeah, whoa.
So here's Kim Rhyme, first skip stone of the fourth end.
Close, just close.
No.
Go for the roll here.
No, no, no.
Straight.
And after taking three in the third, and
Roll, roll.
this rolls out a little bit. Kim Rhyme could be in a position to steal at very least.
We're either doing that or
Force
we're just
one out of Miranda Scheel.
You like the draw or you like this? The draw's probably easier.
Yeah, draw is the shot now. It's a
Whatever you
long
wanna
roll to
throw.
try to get underneath. Just a draw to the fours,
Draw next time.
touch fours underneath.
Even if we overbury it a hair, that's okay. We just can't get deep. 14. I feel like that 14, 13, 13 even. This is a newer, fresher path. Okay. Just want to draw top 8.
And they're 14, draw to the top of the 8, and that is the
And
task
if we're gonna
for
stick out, let's stick
Skip
out.
Miranda Scheel here in the fourth end.
You like a 20? 15.
First opportunity to get out our toy, the rock clock.
They're tight. Pretty good though. 6, 7, 7. Line's good.
In
6,
turn
7.
drill.
They
Yeah.
like
Sweet
that.
side. 5. Yes, then. Hard.
14-3 should be able to get it there. Really good sweep there.
Good.
That's a great spot too, top 8s.
You should have a smidge.
Might show just a little bit, but awfully tight to that guard. Great sweep there.
How much?
Klein and Olsen able to drag that one a long ways. Excuse me, Thurlow and Olsen.
Just have to knock it.
Make a great sweep. You got to make sure you get the credit right.
11, 5?
No, I think you have to throw a 12 at it. 12. I think it'll go far enough.
I feel like once it hits the center, it'll roll too. We can.
So there is enough to dig this out for Kim Rhyme. Just playing a hack. If you can get to half a stone, it's probably enough to move it out.
I think I can get this. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, right.
Move it out and keep yours in.
I mean, the shooter's probably staying if you hit enough of it to get it out, but the main thing is just make sure that yellow one goes out.
So final stone of the fourth for Kim Rhyme.
Close. Whoa, easy.
Whoa.
No line.
Whoa, no line.
As they're trying to force Miranda Scheel to settle for one.
No line, curl.
Line's getting better, really turning
All
now.
the way, all the way, all the way.
Does it have enough to push that yellow out?
Go, 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 go. Hard, 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 hard. Go, 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 go.
Sits for third. So interesting decision now for Miranda Scheel. I think that they can make this double and miss the back yellow. I think it's thick enough.
You can hit and roll.
So there is a double for two, down by three. I think it's worth playing. If you hit it on the nose, you still get shot. There's really only one spot on the inside that you can't hit, which might go over the top of the other red.
Yeah, pro side's just nose here. 9. You like that?
So they are going to give it a go. I like the call. The risk-reward situation worth it, down by 3 points. And not a really risky shot either.
Okay.
It is makeable.
The double jam, so we're just going to hit and roll and tap it a little bit.
Well,
Even
they
if
think
he
the
knows
double
it's okay.
jams. I don't think it does. But they're going to try to roll over and tap it, they said. Yeah, I don't think that the jam is there. I think you're safe. But they are just going to try to roll over and move that far enough for two.
Whoa, whoa.
Intern for Miranda Scheel on the last rock of the fourth end.
Girl! Hard!
And can she create two out of this?
Easy now.
Nice
Yeah, perfect. See, they were worried about the jam, but that's nowhere near. So it's perfect.
Mission accomplished. 2 points for Team Scheel. They closed to within one. It is 3-2 at the end of 4. Back at the Rink at American Dream, the final draw of the women's round robin. Delaney Strauss up 4-2 right now on Christine McMakin. But they are still finishing their fourth end. We're starting the fifth end here where Miranda Scheel just took 2 in the fourth to close to within 1. Tessa Thurlow will get us started.
Joe's rock! Joe's rock! 2! Tight 3 if you
Big
can.
2 there
Tight
for
3 if you
Scheel.
can.
Work their way
Always
back into this
straight.
matchup. Now only down
Always
a
straight
single.
here. Halfway.
Throwing the
Mine's
center
okay.
guard to start
Throw
off
side
the
then,
fifth
throw
end,
then,
seeing if
throw
they
then.
can get either a steal or a force.
That's fine. Good, Tess. 16-2.
Good opening shot from Thurlow.
Right on the center line. And now Katie Rhyme. Sarah Anderson picked up another 2 in the fourth. Is up 7-0
Yeah,
on
5,
Rachel
6.
Work.
Line's good, guys.
Sarah closing in on that #1 seed. What a strong week from that team. We had their game last night
Down a little, still a 6.
with Delaney
Solid
Strauss.
7 now.
Best
Rich
game,
got
I
6
think,
for
on
Denise.
either side of the field that
Happy.
we've had for a feature the entire week. A lot of shot making back and forth.
Good
Felt like a playoff game with what was at stake.
Top 8.
The winner obviously in the driver's seat for a berth in the 1-2 game. And now Sarah, again, only lost this week to Elizabeth Cousins. Wins over Delaney Strauss and Tab Peterson, the top 2 seeds.
7. Line's good.
Looking
got room.
increasingly
7.
likely that they will
Okay.
be the #1 seed for the
Tons of
playoffs.
room. 5. Tons of room. Got a curl.
Now
5.
Tessa Thurlow.
Got a curl. 5. Got a curl.
Some frustration there from Miranda Scheel as they try and see if they can bring this behind. It's not going to get there.
The line was just never right for the freeze. The weight was perfect. Really well-placed rock by Katie Rhyme in the top of the 8-foot. With that mid-tight center guard, that's the ideal spot to throw that draw.
But you really heard some frustration there from Miranda Scheel. If it's got to curl, it's got to curl, and nobody was sweeping.
They didn't want to sweep for weight, so it was a matter of if they thought they could get it to turn enough. Because the weight was exactly where they needed to be. If it curls more and they sweep and it bumps off, then it ruins the freeze. That wrecks the guard, but I think Scheel will put that back. It would open up the #1 counter, but they would rather have that center guard there anyways.
There? I still like to the red.
Actually, I think that guard might have been over a little more to the left before she replaced it, but it is what it is now. There's no tick rule coming into effect, and 5th stone to the end. And
Line's very tight, pretty good. Line's good. 6. Line's good. Line's good. Whoa, whoa, curl side.
Jordan Hine trying to play a freeze into this pocket. You can tap your own a little and sit on top of the red too.
7.
That's good. Really good shot.
Like that.
13-3.
Good angles for Team Scheel.
Control.
first shot
Easy. Whoa. Whoa.
of the 5th end for Libby Brundage.
Hard. 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 Hard.
Trying to hold this to get by the yellow. Little redirect.
Okay. Good.
And sticks around in the 12, so good break there and good sweep. Blaney Strauss draws the button for a second point in her game against Christine McMakin. Now leads 6-2 after 4 ends of play. Again, a win for Delaney would give her the #3 seed
I like
and bring the winner of our feature game into the tiebreaker picture.
How much do you have of that one? Could try and get that out of there.
Elizabeth Cousins did get 1 in the 4th. Now leads Tab Peterson 5-3. Jordan Hine with her second.
Little less. 6. Line's a hair tight. Close line.
Jordan playing the southpaw in turn
Line's good. Line's good.
around this
Line's
opposite
good.
side.
Just top 8. Just top 8 here. Whoa. 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 Just
Going
top
to get
8.
this to finish up a little
side.
bit.
Just
Don't want to touch your own yellow though.
Really nice.
That's really good. Nice control now of the top of the 8-foot for Team Scheel.
Just straight peel.
I think a smart play from Rhyme to peel this rock off with where these are located. The only other option would be to draw around those stones into the 4-foot and really go on the attack. But with the way those are lined up, I think this is probably the smart play with the lead and the hammer.
Hard. Yep. Hard. Yep. Go, 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 go.
And there it is.
Okay, good.
You also could have maybe tried to slash what you could see of the yellow and lose both. A little precise shot.
Or do you like playing this right now?
Discussing either a guard,
What do you like? What do you guys think?
more race
Center
hit.
or this?
Little knock back into that red stone.
I wouldn't mind one more guard.
I kind of like
Still
that.
4 shots left.
Okay. 11? Yeah.
Yeah, they're going to elect to play the kill.
Okay, just 11.
So a little more conservative, but you're only down by 1 point in the 5th. This isn't a situation where you have to go all out steal. But I think they could have made Rhyme waste 1 more stone with a guard.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Close. Yep. Yes. Yep. Yep. Hard. Hard. Hard.
weight. They were looking for 11. This doesn't look like it's anywhere near that much weight. Ended up just being maybe through the house, and they're looking for board. Not a bad break on where the roll ended up, though, with now 2 rocks lined up on that red number 1. A little fortunate for Sarah Olson.
Here?
Yeah.
This is tucked behind those 3.
Here?
No?
Now they're dead lined up to whatever you throw behind it. If you draw around it, they might be able to just hit the yellows and lose both reds. So you have to be very careful where you place this stone. If you're going to throw a draw, you have to throw it around the outside of those yellows to the side of the 4-foot, which I think is probably the best shot right now. Just an out-turn draw to the side of the 4s, somewhere where it's not lined up to take your own out.
Keep our shooter, shoot this out, and then just get some separation.
Move this one. This one's gone. This 7's
Looks
still
like they're
here.
talking a hit and roll.
The 3 might not be totally gone.
Yeah.
Now they're going to move it 4-team shield then.
Just to catch the 7.
Yeah, but if you hit this with a 9 thin enough, you're losing your shooter. Your shooter's not sticking.
9-5.
You
Or
could
we do the draw, and if we come here, that's fine.
I don't mind moving these things around.
Yeah, then I like moving stuff around with like a 9-5 or a 10.
Okay, 10.
They've never even looked at that out-turn draw around those stones.
Well, I think Libby Brundage mentioned it. She said, "Oh, why don't we do the draw?"
Well, she's talking about drawing up to the yellows.
Oh,
though,
okay.
not
I thought
around
she
it.
was okay.
10.
She placed her broom right in front of
All right.
those 2, which is just piling them up in front of that rock. They want to move these stones, so they said 10. If you can hit maybe a thick half of this top stone, it's possible you can still keep your own in the house and lose the top one.
Whoa!
So Kate Flannery.
Whoa! Whoa, whoa. Whoa, curl! Curl, hard!
Okay.
Or that.
Only loses the top
Katie,
one.
sorry,
fine, too.
Katie. Good throw, my bad.
That's a 10-3.
Yeah, good weight.
Good throw.
I don't mind sticking another one here. Just draw to it. Or we're
I
hitting
don't mind
it.
that at all.
I kind of like just another one though.
If your opponent hasn't shown
Top
that
8,
they're
top
going to throw the
12.
draw,
Oh.
then the freeze isn't a bad shot at all.
I think we
Let's see
should
if-
play on it. Like try and move that red somewhere, right? We can.
Well, if you're going to move it, you want to kill it. But
I like
I didn't
that.
mind the freeze.
Normal.
The good thing with playing this shot is that you're sitting 3. You can roll away, and it's pretty difficult for Ryan to set up a score of 3, so it's not necessarily a steal setup. You could stumble into one with a mistake, but it's a really good force setup.
And out-turn from Sarah Olson.
Close. Yep. Close. Yep.
Yes, yes,
Yep. Close.
Whoa.
Yep. 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 Hard. Hard. That's fine.
And there's the kill.
9-4.
Yeah, I think they're playing maybe to roll away, but ending up right on the nose now. Ryan can't lose both stones without losing their shooter too. That's a good result.
So Miranda Scheel sitting 3. 3 stones remaining for Kim Rime. The first will come from Kate Flannery.
Yep. Hard! Hard! Hard!
Flannery, another former
hard.
junior champion.
Good.
Kills 1, spreads things out.
And
And
they're sitting
now
second. It's a little tricky because Scheel can't nose and out count.
Yeah. If we nose, we might be
Well,
third.
maybe
I like
it's
that
real
normal.
close to nosing and be able to out count the
Normal?
rock on the wing.
Side doesn't curl quite as much. Got it. Nose isn't terrible.
I think if they nose, they will have
Just
second.
slightly. Don't need to move it much.
Well, they'll be sitting 1-2, with maybe third.
Right.
Normal should run good here.
Just going according to plan for Scheel, hoping for their force or steal.
9-5. Whoa. Whoa. Whoa.
9.
Trying to get this to turn to stick around. Ends up right between the roll and the double, but still sitting 2.
So this is sitting third. So we
Thought
get
they
that
could
one. They're
get it to
still
turn
sitting-
over enough to stick around, but if they actually sweep
We have to get a
the
little
opposite side, they'd probably make the double.
Does that leave the double? But yeah, I don't want to go too far. That's true.
Sarah Anderson continues to pile up points.
Yeah, 'cause the center
On
line
sheet
is
A,
closer.
another steal of 2 in the 5th and a 9-0 advantage after 5 ends.
Sarah Anderson had last stone first in. They blanked that end. Then she put up 2, and she's stolen 3, 2, and 2.
Control. Yeah. A little roll is good. Roll Katie's way. Pulling out, you guys. No. Rolling.
Delaney Strauss is up 6-2 over Christine McMakin. And if that result holds, it's Christine McMakin against the winner of this one in a tiebreaker. Kim Rime with her
Yep.
first
Yes.
of this 5th end.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Trying to roll over in the area of that other yellow at
Hard for
least.
piece. Hard for
Maybe
piece.
play it really thin
Hard
into
all
the
way,
other
all the
yellow
way,
if
all
they
the
can
way,
hold
all the
it.
way, all the way. Go, go, go.
Sorry, guys.
Sorry.
That just goes by. Underthrown a little bit.
I just lost one.
So do we ever come here? Or do you just hit? She's never
And
throwing
make
a
her
double,
draw.
she's
We're
just
playing for
drawing.
the force.
I heard her say, I
Like
just
here.
lost it.
Even if we're here, that's not bad.
Hey.
I'd like to be here though. I think
Wait,
it's
do you
like
think we
13
want it
8.
top
So
side
there was
to
a
her
quick
slower than we
discussion
thought?
about we
Miranda,
could
where
just
do you
hit
want
and
it
make her draw, but
Behind it?
Miranda Scheel correctly saying immediately, well, we're already 2.
Good dog.
We don't need to hit it. So just throwing a draw, trying to maybe tuck a piece underneath their own
Just
number
biting
1
top work.
counter. I like this
Want
shot.
to be buried a piece. If we're open, that's okay too. Just curl it over center.
Yep, give them a little teaser. Show
I
them
think a 13 8.
half, 2/3.
This
You
side's
don't
a
have to
hair
bury
slower.
completely. And only showing a piece as opposed to completely burying it. Your rock is closer to the center, so if they do draw, it's cutting that much more space off the house for them to draw too.
So last rock of the 5th for Miranda Scheel.
Got a curl.
7,
The curl.
6, 7,
Line's okay. Still got a
And
curl.
in position to force Kim Rime to
7.
take 1.
5.
Trying to get it to turn enough to tuck a small piece under the rock.
Hard.
Biting top of the 8s. Looks like it's just going to settle in open, but in the 4-foot.
What do you say?
Just control.
Just control.
Curl here.
Yeah.
So a hit instead for
This way, off center.
Rime. And
Yeah.
great weight there. If
Got
it
it.
curls a little more, then you make Rime make a decision too about whether they'd rather hit or draw, depending on how much they can see. But with the stone wide open and some air, they will play the intern hit.
Just
Control
yeah,
weight, heard Kim say.
10 and a half.
Last rock of this end as Kim Rime off the hack for an intern hit to double the advantage to 4-2.
Close.
Clean. Yep.
Yes. Whoa.
Whoa.
Just cleaning this one in right now.
Yep.
Everything looks good.
Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Whoa.
Nice
You're
throw
good,
from
you're good.
Kim,
All good,
makes no
all good.
mistake.
1 red.
And there we have it. 5 ends complete. And Kim Rime leading Miranda Scheel 4-2 in a match that could decide who goes to a playoff. And it's time for our mid-game break, brought to you by Broom Fitters, where you'll find a full selection of curling broom shoes and equipment, along with unique curling apparel, gifts, and more. And for a limited time, take 10% off your first order with the code USA. Visit broomfitters.com for good curling gear. Back at the Rink in American Dream in East Rutherford, New Jersey. It is the final game of the women's round robin here at the USA Curling National Championships. And in our match, Kim Rime forced to take one in the fifth, but leads 4-2. Miranda Scheel, the reigning junior champion, a two-time junior champion, with the hammer in the sixth. The other game that really will factor into this one, Christine McMakin taking three in the fifth on a steal. I beg your pardon, not a steal. Taking a look at the scoreboard there. They still had her with the hammer. But nonetheless, Delaney Strauss up 6-5. And Christine McMakin is the team that really controls their destiny.
15 seconds.
Win and you're in terms of the playoffs. Lose and you face a tiebreaker against the winner of this one between Kim Rime and Miranda Scheel.
Now, the top four seeds all control their destiny as of right now, based on their place in the standings. McMakin, that big three-point end, cutting the deficit to one, get back in that matchup. The sixth end is going to be really important there. Strauss can come out and hang a two, take the momentum back. Only 5 ends to play would be a big score, and then on our feature sheet, same thing here, sixth end. If Scheel could get a two of their own to try to tie this thing up, would be a really big momentum shift again.
And Katie Rime puts the first stone in the four. And now Tessa Thurlow.
Straight side, line's okay. Line's okay.
Straight side, center track, coming out of the break. This should be really quick.
Okay. It looks good. It is running 14-7.
Making sure John Landsteiner's aware of that.
You know it's coming. John Landsteiner, it's always faster after the break.
Interesting.
Right into the house. We do have John's game tonight, so if he throws one in or deep, following the fifth end break,
Yes, yes, yes.
you're going to hear about it on his
9-9-5. Yes, yes. All the way, all the way, all the way.
Do you maybe just yell it over the edge to make sure he hears it as well?
He'll probably look up and give me a death stare. I don't expect he'll do it anyways, though.
No. Very good.
So the hit from Katie Rime and Tessa Thurlow now.
Joe's rock. 2. Joe's rock.
This is one of my great simple joys on that team, was telling him that in every championship competition, every game.
Really got to curl. Hard curl it. Hard curl as far as you can.
It's the little things you miss more than anything else.
Hard. Hard, gotta go hard curl it. Hard curl it. That's fine.
This one, no problem for Thurlow, ends up top.
We have to straight guard this.
Yeah.
Right here.
3.
Yeah, I don't really want to give him that.
Right. Just straight. Yeah. 3.
Move on to seconds.
I'm going to give you like a 4-0.
And Libby Brundage for Kim Rime.
Libby throwing the
Line's a little
out turn,
tight.
just trying to get
Line's good. Stay close.
tight to the rings.
Yep. Oh, yep, 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 yep. Oh, oh.
Crosses center, guards the one in the top 12.
Small roll. Burn.
Difficult to score more than 2 with the rock setup as they are. This time I think I agree with Scheel's call hitting this, but you don't want to play this with a lot of weight. You have to stick around for a corner guard. Even if it noses,
Close.
you need to stay in play.
Close.
And rolling to an opposite side corner would be
Whoa.
great.
Curl.
Let's see if Jordan Hine can do that right here.
Hard to stick.
They need-
Hard to stick.
That's fine. Get it.
That's just too much weight. It ends up rolling off. And for Rhyme now, this should be an easy call. Peel the corner guard, and 2 is basically all that Scheel could get.
Here.
Yeah, they're looking at coming in.
Okay.
Boy, if that guard's gone, then Scheel really doesn't have a whole lot, and you can maybe make him peel out an
We
end.
can get him in line.
So this is a bit of a break for Scheel. Those rocks are not in dangerous places in the house at all. So even with another one in, you can start tapping
Easy
rocks
then,
around,
Line's
playing
good,
position,
guys.
trying to use that corner guard, maybe try to set up a 2 or 3.
Line's good though.
Libby Brundage out turn draw here, and you could hear him say, let's just get him in line.
Yep, line, yep, line. Hard line, guys, hard. Hard line, hard. Hard, 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 hard. Yes, go, 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 go.
It's well made, but now the
Same thing.
opportunity for Scheel.
I still
A
like
little
that
hit and
9.
roll behind. I think 9's probably a lot for this. You don't need to be playing kill. They're so worried about these stones in the house. You got to be more focused on how do we set up our 2. It's much tougher to stick around, less margin for error when you're playing more weight.
Close. Yep. Close.
Jordan Hines
Girl.
second. And will it stay in?
And does stay on the paint.
Got him too.
You hate that?
Yeah, I like that.
Even just
It's behind me though.
normal.
Normal. 9-5.
Rhyme hitting the rock in the outside 12s, just making sure there's no yellow in the house.
And Kate Flannery.
9-5. Yes, yes, yes. Hard kitty, hard kitty.
Yep.
Hard kitty, hard kitty, hard kitty. Hard kitty.
Yep.
Hard kitty all the way. Keep
Yep.
going, keep going. You got it. Go hard,
Definitely is
go
going to
hard, go
remove the
hard.
stone, trying to roll in too.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Rolls all the way under the corner.
Hey, hey.
This is not a bad setup for Scheel. Now you can come around that. She forced her into playing the shot
Right
that
to
she
it.
should play.
75,
So
80.
just a little freeze, maybe a tap, some margin for error. But now you can set up your 2 or 3. And this comes from not peeling that corner earlier in the end. There's just not a whole lot of good that can happen leaving that up there with no center guards and no steal to set up.
Gotta be top 4 here.
And it's Sarah Olson
Top 4. Whoa, watch it. Whoa.
who needs to
Good,
execute
good.
here.
Top 4, top 8.
Yeah, they like the
Whoa,
weight, they
can't
like
go
the
there.
line. Looks like it's coasting a little though. Looks like quite a bit more than top 4.
No bump.
That perfect line, just a little heavy.
13-1. Fine.
Yeah, you heard 13-1, then that's definitely a back 12, back line type of weight.
9-5. That was a 9-3. 9-3-5.
Kate Flannery second. For Team Rhyme, they lead by 2. Again, winner here could be in a playoff against Christine McMakin if McMakin loses to Delaney Strauss.
Whoa, 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 whoa.
There goes the yellow. That red sticks around at the
You
back
like
of the
here?
4.
You want to try this again?
A pile of reds in the house.
Do you
think you
want
still
here?
need
Do
to
you
play
want
to the
try
corner.
This? Same way. Top 4. So I'll just give you a hair less. Probably that 80, right?
You say play to the corner. First instinct seems to, can you just knock something out because you want to limit what the other team can do. What's the advantage of playing to the corner?
Well, you have hammer, so you're not limiting the other team at this point. You're attacking. So you need to figure out how to get your 2 points, even with where those are situated. None are dangerous rocks.
Top 4
The number
here.
one counter is
Top
behind the
4,
tee
line's
line.
Good. Keep
The one
looking.
behind the
Keep
corner
looking.
is
It's
on the
really
tee
good.
line.
Line's
Your
really
whole
good.
focus is we're going to have the 4-foot for our last
All
shot
you
no matter
guys,
what.
top 4.
We need to get a second counter in there
4.
somehow and try to find 2.
Yep, yep.
This weight looks a
Yep,
lot
hard
better
to
than the
it, hard
previous
to it,
shot.
hard to it.
Just need to hold the line for shot rock. Oh, that's beautiful. Great shot. Perfectly
14-6.
placed.
Yeah, so it's
Really good by Sarah Olson. Good adjustment after the first shot.
Here. What is
So now down to skip stones.
And the whole point, Joe, with this setup, I know I've gone back to it already,
Sure.
but you're looking at 4 stones in the house for red. You say, wow, they must be playing a good end. Well, none of those are really helping them in any way to try to steal or force. I mean, the force is there, obviously, but there's no solid steal opportunity. And had they peeled that guard out earlier in the end, look at the way the rocks are set up right now. Even though there's 4 reds in, yellow is in the best position of anyone on the sheet.
Right.
And the 4-foot's still open. So that last shot for the skip, the bailout, is always there. So now Rhyme has to chase underneath that corner guard and try to refreeze. If they don't get shot rock, and now that the area to get shot, now that it's above the tee line, is a lot smaller, then Scheel can play to the number 1 afterwards, sit 2, and a situation that never should have been available for them in the first place. Now they can maybe get a tie game, and if they get a miss somewhere, possibly even a 3.
So shift everything up about 18 inches, we got a completely different scenario.
This is a much tougher freeze playing this now after that one's made to try to get shot. You're getting farther and farther away from the center the farther up you go, even though it's still angled on the inside.
Yep.
So out turn for the freeze by Kim Rhyme.
Gotta go for line. Gotta go.
Yep.
Hard line.
Hard line,
This
guys.
is really curling now. They got to sweep the hold line to stay shot rock. That's already over the top.
It's real early.
Can you just like, do you ever just hit and roll out a little bit? I think that's giving us 2 for sure.
You can hit or you can freeze. Either way.
Is there any shot here from Miranda Scheel for 3?
Yeah, 2's fine.
Well, if she gets a miss, she's going to need one. If you freeze on the number 1, that's probably your only way you can get 3. It's a fairly sure 2 or at least a shot for it if you hit the number 1 counter.
Either that or we're getting 2 here.
Yeah, that was my first thought, but I don't hate either. We could take a time.
We could take a time.
Whatever you think.
Like,
I mean,
if we hit this, we're for sure going
They're
for 2.
approaching
Fine.
17
But
minutes.
if we're here and she guards
You
that,
can
then
also
we're
tap
kinda
that red
cool,
back
right?
too.
Right.
Create a pocket because there's no double on the yellow stones.
Okay.
And then you
try
just
and
gotta
go
make sure
here
your
then.
shooter sticks.
Yeah. Nose is great. Nose
You
is
think?
great too. Stuff.
I heard a nose is
sure.
great.
We need to hit nose.
Okay.
We can always take a time too if we're unsure.
Okay. 9-5.
So they are going to play the hit.
Even if we roll in,
Slightly
that's not
more
terrible. I like
conservative
this
call,
though.
but the one that probably gives you
I'm
the
just
most
saying, 'cause
sure
if she
chance at a
puts one
2.
up and we can't get both of them out, then
It's not a
we're
poor
either
call. It's just
genius. Yeah.
you're taking a little bit of a
So I
risk
think
if you're
it's
playing the
6.
freeze on the number 1, the
So is
tap on the number 1,
9-5.
or the freeze up to your
First side
number
here is rolling in a hair.
2 counter, which is probably the riskiest shot. Anything you play to the number 1 counter probably gives you a better chance at your sure 2. And because of the way the rocks are set up, I mean, even with a roll out on this, you're in good shape to get 2.
So Miranda Scheel's first here.
Close. Yep. Yep.
Hard.
Hard.
Hard, so you gotta go. Hard
She
right
wants
it.
to bring it to
Hard
the
chest, hold it
nose.
there, Hold it there. Hold it there. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it.
It's curled a little bit.
That's not bad. Good.
That's a pretty good result there. Rolls right to half buried now. Rhymes out is to play the freeze, but she's playing it against a possible 3.
Yeah.
I think that's a better result
Right
than
was real
Scheel
good.
expected. And that's probably your best chance at getting 3 is making it just how they did.
Even if not by design.
Yeah, sometimes it works out that way. A really good sweep to hold it on that line to give them that result too.
Close, probably close to the same. Because you guys didn't sweep it like real hard. I give you about the same. Yeah. Okay. Just down to the back.
So Kim Rhyme's final stone of this 6th end. The objective here is to prevent Miranda Scheel from getting 3.
Line's
good,
good.
guys.
Line's real good.
Line's good.
Stay
Yep.
straight
And
for
freeze
line.
it against
Stay straight. Gotta go hard line.
Yep. Hard,
the yellow
guys.
stones
line.
on the left of the
Hard
house.
line.
And
Hard line.
Really going hard for line.
Hard, you got it hard. Keep going hard.
Don't want to bounce off the top one. Just let it die and it'll sit there.
Real good. Real good.
You just tap that out for 3.
You should be able to get to the inside to get 3. Yeah, really, if Rhymes stops sweeping that, it doesn't bounce off. They were so focused on trying to get around to the back one. If they get off and just let it stop, it would have been cornered on that yellow.
9-5, and if you double off the back, that's okay.
How difficult is that, though, to start the shot? Everybody has in mind what you want to accomplish, and then midstream you have to go, whoops, what's plan B?
That's part of curling. You know, that's the teams that win are the ones that figure those things out, get the most out of each shot, even in the middle of each shot.
Nose isn't terrible. Nose is still for 2.
Yeah, this is just a soft weight hit, I think. Just move it out of the forefoot, cross and hit about 3/4. They said nose, all right. They're playing 9-5, so they're actually throwing this with normal pass, which I don't know if that. Actually, if it catches some of the yellow too, it might stop. It all depends on the action the shooter gets.
Is the stone at the back of the 8 concerned at all that it backstops anything?
Not with the weight they're playing.
Nice.
If they played it soft, it could be.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Curl. Curl. Curl.
Needs to get up to not dead jam here.
That's fine.
So it is 2.
Opportunity for 3 goes by the wayside, but Miranda Scheel does enough to level this one at 4 as we head to the 7th.
Twin Cities Orthopedics is ready to go with more doctors, specialty services, and convenient urgent care locations. Ready, set, TCO.
In East Rutherford, New Jersey, at the Rink American Dream, draw 7 of the Women's National Championships here for USA Curling. And Miranda Scheel has just evened this one up at 4-4. And Tessa Thurlow with the first stone of the 7th end. And they'll go for the center guard. Will it get enough to get on the line?
That's fine. Good. 15-2.
Just nestles up to the center line. Good shot there from Thurlow. That's a situation in years past with it that far out of the rings. You'd see teams split that onto the house, but with no tick, no opportunity to do that. So a good shot from Thurlow. Really like to either get a steal or a force in this end, not let Rhyme get a blank. Looks like they were trying to throw a guard, actually, but going in the rings, which is probably a better result.
Just leave it high. Okay, that's okay.
I like trying to roll under here.
So Miranda Scheel looking for a hit and roll. Tabitha Peterson just put up 3 in the 6th to go up on Elizabeth Cousins. 6-5, and that likely won't matter as Sarah Anderson leads Rachel Workin 9-1 as they're in the 7th end.
10. Curl. Hard curl. Hard to stick. Hard
Second
curl.
stone from Tessa Thurlow. Well, didn't really get the hit and roll under the guard.
Yeah, I had a 4.
Instead,
Maybe you here,
was
Katie.
off.
I think I'm going to give you a little less.
And I went to top 8.
Katie Rhyme.
3. Fair amount of rotation. Soft finish, but a fair amount of rotation.
Oh, let it grab.
3.
Let it grab.
2-3.
Again, going for the corner guard, so Rhyme playing
On its own.
aggressive for a 2
15-2.
in the 7th.
More rotation.
Not really worried about the odd end, even end positioning. And if you can get 2, it really doesn't matter that it's an odd end. It's great to get the 2-point lead. Going to the corner, you're basically declaring your intentions right from the get-go.
Hair tight. Close straight.
Now Jordan
Close
Hine.
straight. 7. 7. Close line. Close line. 7. Close
Hine
line.
playing the
7.
out-turn come around. Really gliding right now.
13-3. She's got to slow it down. Okay, Joe.
She's been a heavy
She's
on
just
a
sliding
couple
out heavy on her
draws. Delaney Strauss gets a 2 in the 6th, as we said would be their goal for that end, to switch that momentum back, and now leads 8-5 after 6 ends of play.
Okay, line's good.
Good ad. Good ad.
Yep.
And with 5 stones out,
Close. Yep. Yep. Ooh.
Libby Brundage. She split between those 2 guards.
Ooh, ooh, ooh.
Libby just playing under the corner. That rock going all the way to the back 12s for Jordan Hine. Much less to be worried about, and that sits for shot rock. That's a really good spot for
You like
For
coming
Libby.
around again?
well placed.
I like the same way though. Yeah.
Jordan Hine,
Top 4 here.
left-hander, so
Line's
out-turn.
okay. Still close straight. Close straight. Line's good.
Trying to come around
Line's
here.
good. Top 4.
Weight
Whoa,
looks
watch
much
it,
better
watch
on
it.
this one.
Got room now.
Yeah.
Got
I
room.
like the weight
Curl
or the
side.
line as well.
Curl side. Just curl. Just curl. Yep. Yep. Hard curl. Hard curl.
Really
Hard curl.
good
You
looking
got it.
shot here.
Well,
Good.
you're good.
Good adjustment by Hine, really well done.
What'd you click?
Just kissing the button.
Good job. Hey.
And now
This
Kim
way?
Ryan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think because it's straight, it's running more. Which I
Straight
just,
peel, do you go
Joe
for a
put it
double?
together for me.
You want to open this up first. Anything you're hitting on the nose is leaving a shooter up there too. I think for now they're just playing peel.
Oh,
Shooter sticks around on the corner, then
good.
that's fine too. Almost got some action out of the rings.
I think we just go 2-3.
Yeah, it doesn't need to be incredibly tight here. The tighter it is, the
I
better
feel like a
chance they
4
have
out
of
here probably
making the
does it.
run. So maybe a 2, 2.5.
And Sarah Olson looking to replace the guard here with her first shot of the 7th end.
Just a 2-3.
Very soft,
Whoa,
stay close.
line's good. This side of
Straight
center.
side.
Whoa, whoa,
Line's good.
whoa, 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 whoa.
Doesn't need much for weight.
Curl side.
It's coming down now.
Yep,
Need
yep,
to finish.
Hard curl. Hard curl. Hard to guard any of it. Hard. Gotta go. Hard test. Hard.
Good sleeps.
It leaves the center line side open. That's not the side you want to leave.
12.
So now if there's a good enough
Wanna
piece of
try
it showing,
If
you
get
can
the
roll
top, it's fine.
under
Yeah,
the corner.
Gonna love
Hack.
it.
12.
12. I like
Okay.
12.
Kate Flannery asking Hacker 12. And Kim Rhyme goes with 12.
12.
So it's solid hack.
Oh,
That looks like a lot of line right now. Really needs to get up.
hard. Push, Libby, hard. Go, 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 go.
Brundage trying to get a piece.
Go, go, go. Okay,
Just
good
feathers
throw,
it
Katie.
over farther under the guard.
Up.
Little up,
11.
hair out.
Round again.
Chris,
First blink we've seen from
Kind of like just around.
Flannery in a while. She's played so strong.
in that situation, she calls down hack 12. Kim Rhyme says 12. As a shooter, what prerogative do you have to overrule the skip?
It's a really small difference between those two things. So, I mean, if she was more comfortable with one or the other, she could ask for it. Rhyme may or may not give it. With something that's that small, it really doesn't make that big a difference. Handshakes over on sheet A. Sarah Anderson after a single in the 6th for Rachel Workin now puts the finishing touches on that victory.
Hair tight.
Secure the #1 seed
Line's good.
in the Page
Curl
playoffs.
side, curl side.
Another
curl
2
side.
in the 7th to finish 11-1.
Gotta curl it under. Gotta
That
curl
final
it under.
score, Sarah
Hard curl. Hard
will
curl.
take on
Hard
Tab
curl.
Peterson
Hard curl. Really gotta go.
in the
Gotta
1 versus
curl.
2. Peterson the 2 seed.
And
All
Sarah
our
Olsen,
focus
nice
now
freeze.
on the rest of these games, our feature and Strauss McMakin to see who joins them in the playoff field. And yeah, great draw by Olsen.
You have to hit it pretty hard.
She's starting to get her
We
weight.
can try this.
Made her last 2 perfectly, the last in the previous end, and now freezing to their own in the top of the 4s.
Into. Okay.
So Rhyme looking to open it up with a peel. Could get a little break playing off on this side into your corners, maybe push one in the rings.
Last to the 7th from Kate Flannery.
Yes. Yes.
Oh.
Whoa. Whoa.
Oh,
Close.
Yep.
Close. Yes. Yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yes.
Hard.
Yes. 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 Yes.
Hard.
You got it. Yes.
Hard.
Go, go, go,
Hard.
go,
Looking like a run right now.
Okay, good.
Gets the back one, but does leave the guard up there too. So likely just replaced now from Miranda
I
Scheel.
don't love this rock, but I think it's fine. You like around or you like to it? This is second. I don't. What do you think?
I think I like that.
Okay. Yeah, just do it. This one's like.
I don't
fully
know.
Well,
lit,
if you
so
play
yeah,
this
play the right
freeze, your opponent is
Yeah.
certainly going to come to the center
I
to
like-
your own stone
Even
or
top
play the
two's
run.
okay.
Try and get it second shot.
Let's make it good. We can get like 14 across this line.
I think I'd prefer the initial call just going under the red center.
I like to it, but top tee's okay. Try and get second shot here.
Slightly more conservative play, playing away
Gotta be like 3/4 8.
to the side for a
You like a
kind of a
20?
freeze to this red stone back there.
Just back button, weigh it here.
This will lose a little speed once it crosses the center line.
17.
Should be fast early. Her back line. Really don't want to be deep here.
It's trying to grind.
12-9, yeah. Be very surprised if this had any house. Did get into the slide path for a bit. That's going to go all the way through.
Okay.
Opens the door a little bit for Kim Rhyme.
Yeah, I think it is us.
Yeah, I think it's us.
The thing is, though, is how do I come and get this?
Run.
Run it. Run it. I think it's
I mean, it's basically nose. Just that side of nose.
Big shot coming up here for Rhyme.
Stuff it.
Playing the run.
8.5.
8-5.
No. It curls this way.
It does.
They do have shot with the stone over on the right-hand side, straddling the.
Second shot, yep.
Well, yeah, second. Just in my head, I already had one and going
If
for 2.
You had to make it already. Is there a script like the NFL games you have that I don't?
So you just nose pretty much?
My mind was thinking 3 or 2, 3 or 2, and they have second shot over there on the right.
Yeah, she can stick this in. They'll have 2 buried, both shots. Really big shot here for Kim Rhyme.
Clean. Yep. Yes.
In turns
yes.
for the hit.
Oh, yes.
Yes!
Oh. Yes. 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 Yes.
Catches a piece, and oh, that's so unlucky. Still leaves the guard and pushes it over underneath it. Now
They don't have much over here. Stop.
Scheel can
Right here, top 4.
throw another one in top 4s underneath.
Yeah, if we're half open, that's okay. I want
Great steal opportunity for Scheel now. And
top 4.
probably a half inch off of maybe a chance for 3 for Rhyme if they
Even
make
if we're
that
here,
run.
that's okay. Me too. Yeah. I like a 14, 14, 2. Want it top 4, top 8's okay. Yeah. You like that 20? Yeah, love the 20. Okay. Want to bury at least 3/4 of it if we can. Okay.
So Miranda Scheel given an opportunity here on an intern draw to force Kim Ryan.
Line's hair tight. 7.
Little tight out of hand.
Yes,
Have to
line.
make sure you're by first.
Yep. Line's good. Line's good.
Holding it now.
Whoa, whoa. 7. We're to it. We're to it.
Yeah, all kinds of weight. This needs to hit the brakes too. It's going to go all the way to the back one. It is second count, but that's a big missed opportunity.
Sure. It's just for the 1. Yep. Okay.
I just think that's easier than making it.
Only a shot for 1, but they can play the tap or the draw, whichever they prefer. If that rock stops in the top of the button or even top 4s for Scheel, it's a really tough score for Rhyme. Now instead, just an open draw.
Just like back line. I mean, I said back line, but
11:24 remaining for
you know, just like heavy.
Scheel. 13:27 and counting for Rhyme. Little lower on time for Scheel, but not too bad.
And now Kim Rhyme here.
Maybe like a 70? Yeah.
Looking for right in that 14, 14-1, 14-2 range.
Last rock of the 7th end for Kim Rhyme,
Whoa.
who will also be in the mixed doubles at the end of the month with Jason Smith from Team Ruinen.
Yep.
Curl.
Yep.
Yes, yes.
Yep.
Yes, 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 yes.
13-1, so definitely using the backing.
Right to it. Real nice. Real good.
That's just fine. Playing for the heavy draw the whole way. Well executed by Rhyme.
1 for Kim Rhyme, a 5-4 lead over Miranda Scheel. Scheel with the hammer as we go into the 8th end. And Steve's Curling Supplies, America's #1 curling equipment supplier for over 50 years, is proud to support USA Curling. No matter your skill level or budget, Steve's Curling Supplies has all of the top products from the most popular brands in the sport. And right now, save $10 on any purchase of $100 or more when you use the code USA Curling10 at checkout. So go to stevescurling.com for all your curling needs. Back at the Rink and American Dream, first stone of the 8th. Katie Rhyme.
Mine's okay. Mike over curl a little. Libby always.
They look to place a center guard. Rhyme leading 5-4
2, 3. Well then.
2, 3.
in a match that the winner could be headed for a tiebreaker.
Not quite tear broom.
Okay.
And if so, it would be against Christine McMakin. Strauss and McMakin finishing up the 7th end. Delaney Strauss leading right now 8-5.
5, 6,
Despite the
7.
missed opportunity for
Mine's okay.
Scheel on that, on
Got
her
room.
last,
7.
still mission accomplished,
Yeah.
getting the force
Got room.
for Team
8,
Ryan. Now getting
9,
hammer,
9, 10.
down 1, playing the 8th end.
12, 9.
Well, this is the curling math we talk about, getting that 2 in the 6th tie,
Slow
or the
down, don't
first
rush
the
your
2 in the
routine.
4th, forced to 1,
Okay.
2 in the 5th, or 2 in the 6th, forced to 1. You keep getting 2s and giving 1s.
Here.
Math plays out well.
Buries this at the back of the 8. Second shot for Katie Rhyme.
8. Okay.
8.
Whoa, whoa, room then. Whoa, whoa. Line's fine, guys. Lots of room.
Down 2.
Okay, then.
Just
Stay
a 7, 8.
straight then.
8.
Stay straight. Yep.
Coming down.
Oh, and then whoa, then we did it.
Yeah, we're just there. Just there.
Come around and
Nice out turn draw right to the top of the button.
Okay, good.
All the way to the tee.
tucks it behind the guard. Second shot coming up for Tessa Thurlow.
6. Line's okay. Hair tight. 5, 6. Yes, lines. 5.
Thurlow playing the
Yep.
in-turn come around.
6. Yep. Hard. Always straight. Hard. Hard
Rock really
straight.
curling too.
Hard straight. You got it. Right to it. 14.
It's going to come out the other side, but still need to get some depth.
Far as you can. Far
If
as
it
you can.
pokes out,
Far
it's
as you
not
can.
bad at all.
That's fine.
Good sweep to get to where they did. It's not terrible position.
Here.
Okay.
And now I move to the seconds.
Yeah.
Either that or we're here.
Okay.
I don't know what you guys think. Do you like short?
I like that. I like a little higher, a little open.
Okay.
I can see almost all the yellow.
Okay. Yeah.
I
three's
always
good, Lou.
favor coming
Yeah, three.
in when you're
Where do
playing
I
without
go?
hammer and your opponent has multiple stones in the house already. Playing the guard is playing with fire a little bit.
Okay, line's good.
Easy.
Line's good. 3, guys.
2's
Yep.
okay.
Out turn
Yep.
to try
Keep going.
and
Yep.
bring it to a
Pull it,
guard.
Yep. Keep going. Yep. Keep going. Whoa,
Just
whoa,
a
whoa,
tight
whoa, whoa,
guard
whoa,
trying to
whoa,
protect
whoa, whoa, whoa. That's
number
fine.
1. I think Scheel can come around and tap
Okay.
that stone, though, with how high the guard is on the opposite side. Delaney Strauss with
I think
the
we're ripping them this way. Just the
tap
top one's
to
okay
the
too.
lid against a possible 3 sets up a steal of 1 to go up 9-5 over Christine McMakin. It's looking like maybe Christine might have a shot to tie that game up, but Delaney with a huge clutch shot and bringing the hopes of our two teams back into play.
Yep. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa. Nice shot.
And the double there. Well, leaves that first stone as a corner, but loses theirs. So
Yeah, I don't know if that's a little
gotta move
conservative
something.
there. It did leave
Yeah,
a
I don't
corner.
love that rock.
So they're a little fortunate actually to not make the double peel and leave that over
Yeah.
there. So now it's not a bad setup. Had both gone off, and I think Rhyme is
10-5.
just hitting. There's no guards in play. You're trading out, and that's a bad situation for Scheel. That has been their tendency. Again, anything on center guards, when especially they have hammer, they just refuse to let the opponent have anything up front. But looked like with an in-turn, they could have come in and tapped.
Yep.
And you're down
Yes.
by a point playing the 8th.
Yep.
So you need to be in attack mode. You need to try to score 2 or more. If you can get a 3 or 4, you're playing risk reward still, where, yeah, you're leaving the center up there. Maybe your opponent can use it at some
Nice
point.
here.
But if they're trying to use that against a 3 or a 4, that's what you want. You're playing to win the game at that point.
a little too formulaic for you. Just kind of almost habit to see that guard up there.
Yeah,
peeling away.
and that's it is a youth thing too. I mean, I'm impressed with how Miranda calls the game, but when you think to yourself, no center guards without hammer, as you play more, then you see
Hard curl.
the situations where you do need to peel it out, and the ones where,
Wait,
okay,
just
we
hot.
have a really good opportunity here. We need to flip the script. We need to go after this.
I think short.
Short.
And down 1 with hammer and 8, you don't need to protect against a steal. You're
like the
playing to
4-0.
score. If they steal, it's because
4-0 little finish.
you didn't set up your 2 well enough. But
right.
your number 1 priority is scoring 2, not preventing the other team from stealing.
Kate Flannery's first here in the 8th.
95.
Line's okay.
3. 3.
Line's okay.
Now replace the
3.
guard.
2, 3. Three,
Nice,
two,
good.
three. Two.
That's good. Yep.
Two.
Keep it moving. Yep. Pull it hard. Yep. Curl.
Yep.
Curl. Hard. Hard curl. Hard, guys. Hard. Keep push, 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 push.
That's a pretty well-placed guard. Looks to be just about completely buried.
Like peel?
Yeah.
Get a call to peel.
Close, yep. Oh. Yep, hard. Hard.
And Sarah Olson.
Hard, get the roll.
Goes over to the other corner and pushes it aside. That
7.
draw path still blocked off.
Could you have come around for a freeze on that?
But you could tap it.
Yeah,
Probably not-
beforehand.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, you could have tapped.
Okay.
But if you play to a freeze, they re-guard with a second one.
Okay,
And now you're playing into the steal. So if you're playing around it, you want to move that stone.
gotcha.
Same time.
8. Line's
A little
fine.
softer.
Line's good.
2.
Curl right now. Curl right now. Oh, no. Oh, stay close.
2, 3.
Straight.
Just trying to replace the
Yep.
guard again.
Yep.
Carry it. Carry it.
Yep. Keep going.
Trying to
Yes,
make
yes,
sure they
yes,
don't
yes,
leave
yes.
any roll on the opposite side towards the corners.
Sit. Sorry,
Actually overswept a little bit, so that rock is open.
You like here?
Scheel can definitely dig that out now.
We're either doing that or we're ripping the guard again.
You got enough that you can see that. You have to chase this stone now.
I think we play to it, and if we get the guard, that's okay. Right, because if we play 11 at it and we roll in. Okay, 11. I think the guard's gonna 10-5. 10-5.
It's probably a little much for this shot, but just cutting your margin for error down a little bit by playing more weight. It is makeable with this weight. Just has to be a little more precise.
Close.
Sarah Olson.
Yep. Yep.
Hard team.
Yep. Close.
Should be by
Curl.
pretty easy here. Now you really need to stick.
Curl the stick. Curl the stick. Hard to stick. That's fine. Great throw. 9-3.
It will sit in the outside. You see how close they had to get to the guard just to have that rock stick around. So playing that much weight makes the shot tougher, but well executed by Sarah Olson.
Pretty natural.
What?
It's pretty natural.
A little thicker than that, I
Which
think, right?
turn to throw.
Into Skip Stones and Kim Rhyme.
And the other thing with that weight is without being able to hit as much of the stone, you have to hit it thinner because of that weight. It rolls to a place that does leave Rhyme a double.
Curl, I feel like it's a
It
little more
curls a
thick.
little more this way.
It
Yeah.
does, yeah. Okay,
I like it.
yeah. Even just the roll is good.
Normal.
If it
The
curls
plus
up-
side
no,
for
that's not
Scheel,
good enough.
even if Rhyme makes
Yeah.
this double, they can draw underneath and still try to get 2 with their last 2 shots.
Yeah. Yeah. Roll. No, hit and double. Or
The interesting decision will be if Rhyme
It's growing up,
makes
hit
the
roll
hit,
side.
doesn't get the double, but sits
But
for
I'm
shot
going-
rock.
wait at this. Okay.
Does Scheel hit and sit 2, or do they draw underneath and maybe try to set up a sneaky 3?
All depends on what happens here with Kim Rhyme's first stone of the 8th end.
Yes. Yes.
In turn for a double.
Yes. Yes.
What are you doing there?
Yes, hard. Yes, hard. Yes, hard. Hard for any roll. Hard for any roll. Hard to roll.
It does hit on the nose. It looks to be shot. So Scheel can hit and sit 2, or they can draw under center,
Okay, let's go. I kind of like
still
just
get
closing.
2 that way, or maybe a 3 with a half miss from Rhyme. It's as though they're going to hit.
Oh.
If they do, then Rhyme will have a hit and roll off of this number 1 to try to get undercover and or in front of that rock.
Like a tiny roll
in the
that's
back of the
okay, but I like
house.
just nosing.
And she'll get aggressive at that one. That's a roll you go after 100% because nose leaves Scheel a nose hit for her second point. So this looks to be just a nose hit attempt from Scheel.
9-5. 9-5. Whoa.
Yeah, turn. Let's see if it happens.
Got it, Carl.
That cannot roll out
Hard.
here. Has to stick
Hard.
around.
Will it get over?
And just hangs on. That's a huge point.
Kind of flat. It's pretty flat.
A white knuckle moment there for Miranda Scheel, but does hold on to the paint.
I don't think we can draw.
Can't afford to throw it. No. Okay, I'm gonna throw it better.
You like still coming this way.
Rhyme does have the option of playing the draw under too. It would be a risk, but if you go under your own, then if it's buried, Scheel would have to make an angle run back. It'd be for 3. But hitting this stone, unless she throws a burner for a crosshouse double, she's probably conceding 2, or at least a shot for 2.
Is it worth going for that double?
It's pretty thick. I mean, it's one of those, I'm not sure if she has it in repertoire or not.
Whoa.
I think it's there, but it's really flat. And that one rolls off, so a free draw instead for Miranda Scheel for the second point.
Still like that 14.
There's dirt.
And Miranda Scheel keeps up with the formula she's used since giving up 3 in the third. Let's get 2 with the hammer. Force 1. This will be the third straight 2 with the hammer for Miranda Scheel. The question will be, can she force 1 in the 9th?
Give it much. Might need
Out
to go.
turn draw. This is for 2.
Hard
Just
then.
needs to touch the paint. Sweeper's on
Hard
this
then.
early, really going hard.
Looks okay.
Doesn't look to be
Looks
too
okay.
bad, though. 14-1 should be exactly where they need to be.
Good. Great throw, Miranda. Yeah.
Sweeper's taking no chance with it. That is right to the tee line. Great wait for Miranda Scheel.
So 2 in the 8th for Scheel, and that means a 6-5 advantage over Kim Rhyme in a game that could decide who makes it to a tiebreaker. 9th end coming up. And Warm Room Hero is the intuitive club software that takes the stress out of schedules, registrations, and more. Warm Room Hero, a platform built for curlers by curlers. Check out Warm Room Hero at curling.club today. Warm Room Hero at curling.club. Back at the Rankin American Dream as we go into the 9th end in a critical match here on the women's side, and this is the final draw of the round robin. Sarah Anderson's already clinched the #1 seed with an 11-1 win over Rachel Workin. Tabitha Peterson leading Elizabeth Cousins 8-5.
Good sweeps.
And first stone here, center guard from Miranda Scheel as she leads by a point over Kim Rhyme. Along with 2018 Olympic gold medal winner Tyler George, I'm Joe Tollison. And Katie Rhyme, first stone for her team as they hold the hammer
Yeah, early.
Line's good, guys.
2,
here in the 9th.
2, 3,
Rhyme going right to the corner.
Line's okay.
So after the center guard from Scheel, now electing to
Bring it.
Over curling.
play aggressive at the 2-point end.
That's fine. Yeah. Good.
See if they can set up a multi-point score. And for Scheel, this is a soft steal. You play for this end. You'd love to get
Top 4 here.
a force.
Top 4, watch
Force or
it,
steal
watch
puts you in
it,
great
still got
position.
room. 5.
Trying to avoid
Tons of
0
room
or
here.
2.
Tons of
But
room.
with the
Gotta
6-5
curl.
lead, curling percentages
Really
play
gotta
out,
curl.
even with the advent
Really
of the
gotta
5
curl.
rock free guard
Hard
zone
curl. Hard curl.
and the
Hard
no
curl,
tick.
curl it over. You got
That
it
having
hard.
the
Hard,
lead
drag it,
going to
hard,
the last
drag it
end,
hard.
even without the hammer,
Hard.
does give you
Really
a
good
slight
save.
percentage
14-4.
advantage of winning the game.
14-4. Yeah.
So Scheel in good position. Nice draw
Here,
again
here,
by
Joe.
Thurlow. Perfect pair to start the end with the center guard and the come around to biting top 4.
So second stone here coming from Katie Rhyme.
Great pair, Tess. Thanks.
Trying to get around the corner. Wade's not going to get
Alright,
there and
good
bounces off a
opportunity.
little too, but 2
Right,
rocks
two in
up top to
8.
use.
Top 12's not bad either.
She will come in
Yeah.
again. The other option would be to throw a second
How's that
center up
14-2?
right now too and protect that rock. With that draw path blocked off on the right side, there's really only one way in. I don't mind coming in again. There's nothing wrong with this shot, but
Top 8,
definitely
top
could
12.
consider a second center.
Okay, we're coming around.
Really
it.
play hard for the force.
Okay, close line. 7. Yep. Yes, line. Whoa, whoa.
They're trying to
we're
go
good. Whoa,
around
we're
the
good.
rock in the
7.
house too.
Close. Yep. Yes, line. Yes, line. Yep. Hard by, hard by, hard by.
Catches just
That's
the
fine.
back of it, which actually will slow it down a little
No,
bit.
that's good.
It's a good call by
I
the
gotta slow it
sweepers.
down.
Just overthrown that one. Hines been deep with her first rock a lot with these draws that they've thrown. Wondering if that one's maybe running a little straighter, quicker.
Like trying to run?
Always like giving the player out and blaming the rock whenever possible.
Yeah.
It's like a bad breakfast. Do you blame the egg? Do you blame the cook? And first stone here in the 9th end
Okay, that's fine.
for Libby Brundage.
Libby just clear this off. May have been trying to run in as well, but at least opens it up.
A 2 is fine here.
Christine McMakin with a 3 in the 8th end to get back in that game against Delaney Strauss. Delaney actually made a double on her last just to give the shot for 3, or it could have been a 4 to tie it up.
3-4.
So 9-8, Strauss leads,
Line's
going to the
really
9th
good.
with
Got room.
hammer.
Whoa, got room. Line only. Whoa.
Jordan
Got
Hine
lots
here
of
trying to
room.
replace
3. Lots of
the
room.
guard.
3. Lots of room. Gotta get almost to center here. Almost to center. Almost to center. Just Tessa. Just Tessa. Yep. Hard.
Placing that
Hard
guard
curl it,
where it
hard
was
curl it,
before.
hard curl it. Really
It's
good.
a good shot there from Hine, well placed.
Same. You ain't trying this way?
I don't mind.
Okay.
Just trying to clear the front then.
This will curl.
Maybe get the run if they can. They
If it's
think it'll
off
curl
center,
a
it's
little
gonna
bit, so
curl.
Then
I'd
right
like
there.
to clear the
think.
guard and the rock biting the top of the forefoot. Not concerned about the one in the back as much.
And Libby Brundage with her second of the 9th end.
A little positive release there. You can
No,
see
I
the
said
pop.
that back harder. That's me.
Yes, you did.
It'll just be a peel
Okay.
or a tick at the least.
Sorry, Kim.
Just
That
a
was you
pretty
here.
hard set on the release. She
I don't
called
mind if
herself
it's
out
touching
on it in
center
the middle of
here.
the shot.
Eh.
And now that takes the draw path away a little more on the
Trying to
intern
do that
side
404
too.
10
So
even.
easy call for Miranda Scheel to throw up another guard.
And Sarah Olson.
1, 2, straight side. Straight side, line's good.
This one they'd like
1,
to
2.
be almost
Watch it,
touching
watch
center
it.
line.
Watch it. Straight,
Definitely
yes.
want it to curl past where the other
Always
guard
straight
is.
side. Straight side. Always
Cover
straight
up
side.
the
Whoa,
counter.
mine's good.
And it
Mine's
can be
good.
higher
Right here.
because you have that tight guard.
Nice
As
shot.
long as you don't leave a
Center's
hole
in
to go
four.
through. That's a good spot for that guard.
This.
That short. Yeah.
Now if they make this slash, you can still draw under your own center guard and get closer to the button too. So the rock setup is good for Scheel.
That one? I think this.
Your thing.
Okay. Here? Yeah.
Some debate here with Kim Rime and Kate Flannery to exact target they want now.
This is the easier one to clear the guard, the shooter, and the rock in the fours, but it does leave the center still blocked off by that guard. I think this is the right play, but you need to make it. Can't leave the shooter right there.
Back one.
Okay, go.
And the back one stays too. Now deep trouble
Good throw.
for Rime. They have the out turn path in.
Like here. If we're here, that's fine. I like trying to get a path though. Two. Just a two.
Okay, pretty similar.
Gonna stagger a third guard up top. I think Miranda's concerned about the red run back.
And Sarah Olson needs
Just
a
a
precise
two.
in-turn here.
Room to move. Room to move. Ryan's really good.
Sweepers think that this is all there already.
Okay. Whoa, gotta curl
Starting to
still.
come
Gotta curl
down.
still.
Just got to make
Gotta
sure
curl
you
still.
don't
Yep. Yep, curl it.
load up a
Yeah,
run
curl it.
back here on this line.
Whoa, 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 whoa. That's fine.
That's close.
Nice.
Might go over the top.
Do you think it's... you're right.
It is. I mean,
Could definitely be a
double
tap
PLOs.
too.
Do you like going and then...
it's like here.
Yeah.
Gotta throw.
They're gonna try to just lose both guards though.
I think you throw this and
Problem is when the red one's gone, if it's replaced by a yellow, now you have no run back except to go yellow, yellow.
That red might drag if they're touching.
Any shot to hit the yellow and have the red force back into the yellow at the top of the four.
It looks like it goes over the top.
All right.
If it had curled a little more, then it'd be just hit it anywhere and you make the run.
Yes.
Now they're trying to lose both.
Hard kitty, yes. Hard kitty, yes. You got it. Hard kitty, yes.
Hard,
Kitty, yes.
hard. Okay, good.
So it leaves the red still covered up.
Are you like putting it up again?
Now it's probably
I don't
time to
mind putting
come
it up again.
in with another one, but looks
I
like
don't
they're
think
thinking
there's
guard. If they guard, Rime is going to come in. It's either an
You guys
in-turn
like a
draw or an
guard
out-turn
again or you
draw.
like here?
That gives them an easy double. I think we should guard.
My first thought is the guard. Okay.
Might not be
I
a
like
bad
just right
time
to
for a
his
timeout,
Even
too.
if we're high, that's okay.
You don't need to come right up to that red stone. You can cover it by being a foot over the hog line. Being that tight doesn't really help it that much.
We want to at least be on
Don't
the
want to
first
risk loading up that gun to fire it in.
1-2, like a 16.
Yeah, 'cause
Otherwise, she can make that run.
Just a 1-2 here.
You want it higher? Like a one?
1-2. Okay. We just want to be over a piece
That's a
of it.
much better spot to
She's
throw
obviously good,
four.
but
Piece on my side.
Right in front of it's okay too. Yes. We don't want to be on
So
the inside,
Miranda
but we wanna
Scheel
be-
setting up for her first
Even
shot
though
of
we
this
know
ninth
it's okay.
end.
Just want to guard at least a piece.
They just want to guard up top.
If you can take the run back away and try to kill a little bit of that draw path too,
Come around
that would be the
then.
ideal situation.
Around.
This is plenty weight already.
Three. Whoa.
Calling three. They were going to try to come around. Now they're letting go. Don't load it up, though. Got to tap a little bit. All right, that's not bad. Draw is there, though, for Rime, and that's the
Unless you like coming this way.
reason you consider coming in is you know if you guard, Rime is drawing. So think about the rest of the end. Project it
Try
out.
an angle slash.
If we do this, what are they doing?
Yeah, and then it opens it up for you.
Right? Just open it up a little bit more. if you try it now.
I mean, you'd still have this draw over here.
And if they draw through this port,
You're only clearing
you want to
one.
nudge that
Shoot,
Yellowstone a
probably
little
gonna
bit?
stay
Can you
here.
just slip by and get to the 4?
It'll
But
be
it'll
hard
open this
not
up
to
a
touch the
little.
yellow
Right.
because of the way the port is
If you
staggered.
like this draw, we can just do this
I
draw.
think the intern draw is a better shot
Okay.
because you don't have to touch anything. You can come right around to the side of the forefoot and
Yeah.
get shot.
I think this
Yeah, I
one.
feel like that path is just a little tricky.
There you go.
We know this draw path a little bit better right now.
Good call here from Team Rhyme talking through it. This is the one that you know that you can make the draw to the 4s without having to touch that yellow stone that's in the top of the forefoot.
So first stone for Kim Rhyme.
You think? Still 14, huh? Okay. I'm thinking like 13-8.
5 minutes remaining for Rhyme. 5:39 for Scheel.
And
Line's
intern
real good.
draw. Kim Rhyme, and
Line's good.
Well,
Line
bring
looks
it.
really good right
Gotta bring it,
now.
gotta bring it.
It's
Stay
all
straight,
on the
stay
weight.
straight, stay straight.
Need to carry it.
Far as you can.
Hold it,
As far as you
hold,
can.
then leave it. Then leave it. Then leave
That's
it.
not going to get there, so
Whoa, leave it open.
they're trying to leave it
Right
so
up,
it's
leave it
still
open, leave it
open
open,
for
leave it
something they can use. They don't want it to half bury.
Okay.
I'm thinking we come right in.
So
Like
now
she
it's
makes this hard shot for one. That's
with
not
this
right.
port, it's not a concern if you tap your own for Scheel. They're just trying to throw to get a third counter in. They don't need to get shot.
right.
I like
They want to
top
block
8
that
here.
off if
If
they
I like,
can.
that's fine.
I love top 8. Even like,
Yeah, just top 8. You like that for ice? I think that should be close.
And Miranda Scheel,
I think. Yeah, I'm gonna air
an
like
opportunity
14,
here to
6,
put
14,
Kim
8.
Rhyme
yeah. Like that 20,
in a bit of a spot
15, 20.
I like
to not give up
Probably
a
similar
steal.
to
I like the call here.
I
The
love it top 8 if we're just.
Rhyme will probably only have a tap on that inside corner guard
20,
for red
25.
You like it?
as opposed to a draw through. If this ends up short, takes that path away. That's not bad either. But if you can get into the house, it makes that tap even harder
I think it
too.
should be good. Even if it's a tight guard, that's okay.
Big stone here for junior national champion Miranda Scheel.
Close line. Close line. Yep. Line's good. Line's good.
Chance to
6,
put some pressure on
5,
Kim Rhyme
5,
in a
4.
game in
Yep.
which the winner
Hard.
could be headed for a tiebreaker.
Hard.
Don't want to
Hard,
click
you
the
got it.
guard.
Hard. Hard.
Does
team, gotta
get
go.
by. Let's see if
Hard
they
to
can
the
get it to the
hard
paint
hard
as
in.
far as they can go. Does get the top 12s.
Take away that draw too.
Yeah.
You can either do a really long
Yeah.
tap, or it's
So 2 options for Rhyme. They,
Tap.
that little slash they're looking at,
Don't. What'd she
or
say?
the outturn tap on the red.
yeah, this is
That
dicey.
red, the second red guard
mean,
from the right.
Do you like this draw? It's still here, I think. That one moved over enough that I think it's still here with the finish at the end.
And I think
As long
maybe
as
they
we
can
get
get the intern draw to walk all the way
We
down
can.
for shots. Very close.
Even
I
if
think
we
with the
can't.
right line, throw it to the back of the forefoot,
Yeah,
you
and
might
then
be able to
hammer
make
with
it,
2
but
in the end. I
really
can
needs
do
to
that.
finish hard on that line to do it.
Really
Long run.
Nah, just tap.
Sorry, that's what I meant.
Looking at the
fun.
tap. I like the tap
Do you
even
want-
though
we
it's a
have
difficult
4
shot
minutes. Do you
just
wanna
because
go
you
with
know
that
it's
now?
there. You can make it
What do you think,
regardless.
cards? I don't mind this draw.
Try this draw
I think
again,
we can
guess.
finish there. I think we can.
And if we get to 8 foot.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
The debate
Good finish
continues.
on
They're
it.
also looking at
Yeah.
discussing previous shots on how much they were swept.
I know, so I don't
Looks
know
like they're
that
going
we
for
can-
the
So
intern.
they are playing the intern draw. This is a very difficult draw. You have to get extremely close to the red guard, the rock that they just threw, in order to get shot. You can get second for sure with this. It really needs to
try
walk
this way.
sideways at the end.
Let's try it.
The tap.
And it's a
Yeah.
little bit of a guess.
No, Libby, just the straight draw. Yeah.
And now they're calling straight draw through the hole. I'm not sure that this is there to score.
No, that's.
Probably have to have a little extra rotation, and if it does get through,
Let's see you guys.
you got to paper by the red guard, and then you have to paper by the yellow in the house, too.
So last minute change in tactics here.
Oh, now they are. I think they're playing the tap now, maybe.
On this last rock by Kim Rime.
Oh, it is just the clean
Yes.
draw.
No.
Whoa. Curl. 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 We're on the curl. 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 Curl.
Oh, that's,
That never got off the guard.
Yeah. Okay.
and that is a big steal for Miranda Scheel as she steals 3 in the 9th, goes up 9-5, and is one step closer to a possible tiebreaker here in the 2024 Women's National Curling Championships. So they shake hands on it, and now it's all eyes on sheet B of Delaney Strauss and Christine McMakin.
Yeah, Delaney just scored 3 in the
Oh.
9th to take a 12-8 lead. So looking like a tiebreaker coming up, 7:30 tomorrow morning between McMakin and Scheel. And Miranda Scheel, a team that only has three losses throughout the week. Easily could have won another 2 games. Dangerous team. Trying to work their way into the playoffs, and you can switch over and watch Strauss and McMakin see the finish. They are still playing the 10th. See if we do have this tiebreaker matchup.
Okay, so as we take a look at the Page playoffs, Sarah Anderson, an 11-1 win over Rachel Workin. She'll go in that top spot in Game 1 in a rematch against Tabitha Peterson. And that's how we opened up this 2024 championship, with Sarah Anderson in a 10-5 win over Tabitha Peterson. They'll get a rematch in Game 1 of the Page playoffs. And what will be Game 2? Will it be Strauss against McMakin again? In order for that to happen, Christine McMakin needs to come up big here in the 10th end. Or will it be Christine McMakin and Miranda Scheel in a tiebreaker tomorrow morning to see who will face Delaney Strauss? And again, if you're not familiar with the Page playoff, the winner of Game 1 moves directly into the final. The loser goes into the semifinal. Game 2, which again will either be Strauss McMakin or the winner of the tiebreaker against Strauss. So it could be McMakin or Scheel. Whoever wins that moves into the semifinal, losers out. And then a second chance for the loser of Game 1 to get into the final. And again, tiebreaker tomorrow morning at 7:30. The Page playoffs at noon, the semifinals at 7, and the finals on Sunday at noon and 4 Eastern here from the rink at American Dream. Tabitha Peterson, 2 in the 9th. They shake hands with Elizabeth Cousins. A 10-6 final there, and here's how the standings look right now. 6-1 for Anderson and Peterson. If this 4-point lead holds up for Delaney Strauss, she would go to 5-2. But if Christine McMakin can somehow come from behind, you'd have 2 teams at 4-3, and they would be the 3-4 team. So Delaney Strauss leading 12-8 over Christine McMakin as they play the 10th end. Miranda Scheel waiting to see if she has a tiebreaker tomorrow morning at 7:30. We're back with you at 7 o'clock tonight for the final game on the men's side. Sampson against Casper, Connolly against Dunham, Ronan against Wendling, and the match we will have, it's the heavyweight, Corey Dropkin taking on John Schuster. We'll see you at 7 Eastern, 6 Central. Enjoy.